Hello, friends. Hello. How we doing? Hope y'all are doing okay. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes. We're here. We're gaming. We're doing the things. King is being suspicious. He doesn't even hear me. He's not even responding. He's right behind me. Oh, okay. 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 He's in the kitchen. He's putting down suspicious emotes. He's changing the pins. He's doing the stanky leg. Doing things. He doing things. It is me. It is Candy. Hello. Hello. We are to solve a crime. This time, I don't think we're solving murders. I don't think we're solving murders this time, but we are solving a crime. And my understanding is that this one's going to be a lot less bloody and maybe even a little family friendly. Maybe even a little family friendly. We'll see. We'll see. Also, thank you for the follow. I'm pretty sure I know who that is. But if I don't, introduce yourself. But I have a guess. But yeah, so we are going to be jumping into Arcane Investigations, which if you look at a copy of the pinned post, I know. I've gotten the scoop from Kisses. See, I know. Listen. I know all. I see all. That's not true. I don't know all. I don't see all. Y'all about to see how little I know when we try to solve this crime. Y'all about to see how little I know when we solve this crime. So, she is a PI. Well, we're gonna see how that goes in this game. We're gonna put those skills to the test. Are you investigating the arcane? Are you an arcane investigator? Great question. We're gonna find out. We are going to find out. So, this is a point and click. We are investigating a magical crime. So, I'm gonna go with we are investigating the arcane. We're gonna go to the crime scene. We're gonna question people. We're gonna see how this goes. It was worked on by a very, very, very small team. My understanding is that this was a team of about 5 people, if I'm recalling correctly. And even when I say a team of about 5 people, that's because the one gentleman who gifted us the game, Ian, had then got some additional artists to help out with the game. So very small team trying to get it out there. So if as we're playing through you think you can solve it better than me, if you think you can even potentially, like, I don't know, speed run it or something, check it out. Definitely go and give it a wish list. Every time you wish list a game, it's very helpful to those who are trying to get those games out there. So please check it out. It is on Steam. If you like murder mysteries, as you know I do, if you have ever played a Phoenix Wright game and think that would be fun, this could be one for you. So we're going to try it out together. We're going to see how this goes. You're going to see how bad of a detective I may or may not be. But it's okay. We're going to do this together. Y'all are in this with me, right? You're in this with me? Cuz we doing this. Here we go. I know the sound is a little bit low. I'll try to raise it as much as I can or keep myself quiet-ish. But here we are. I believe we are this person in the center. This is us. So let's just get to it. Click or press enter to advance the game. Kabili. It's 2 chimes past midnight on the Quartzway Express, and I still can't sleep. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but it's time for my secret weapon. To fall asleep, all I have to do is... let's go with keep staring at the ceiling. Just gotta stay on the course like I've been doing for the past 2.5 hours! Who am I kidding? Maybe I should just bail out the window, slink back to my family's flower shop. No stress there. No existential doubt that I'm totally unprepared to become an arcane investigator. So there we go. We are an arcane investigator. Option 4, shake the pillow. Shake the pillow, throw it on the floor, pick it up, bring it back. He's just like me, for real, for real. Wow, King. If I handed my resignation first thing in the morning, no one will even notice I was here. Ah! You know, maybe I actually am asleep. Who am I kidding? I gotta know what that was. Let's put on some real clothes. Look out, world! I'm in pants. That's right. That's right. You know it's serious when we in pants. You know. You know. When you got put on those adult pants, is real. I woke up from a nightmare. My blanket was on the floor and everything. No, not pants. What do you mean not pants? Why not pants? Hi, Yeti. How you doing? Look at the fancy flower on his collar. Well, he said his family owns a flower shop. He's got to represent, you know? Got to represent. The train hallway is dark and quiet. I just got out of my pants. Okay, fair. I mean, I'm in pajama pants, so I missed it already. It's okay. It's okay. You know, we working through it. We working through it. That's odd. The door to the train's locked safe room, it's open? You creep over and find the safe has been torn open. Its contents are strewn around the room. Oh no, there's been a break-in. Walking inside, you step on a magic rune that smolders on the safe room floor. Whoa, some legit magic got cast up in here. If I remember from Professor Pollyworth's 301 Advanced Spellcraft class, this spell on the ground is a Transilio rune. I'm in shorts, does that count? Yes, those counts. If you would wear them outside, it counts as pants. A Transilio rune means someone's been using magic to teleport? Who you? You? Who you? What are you doing here? Ah! Elpis? Elpis? That character could be the bad guy. Bad person. We don't know. Elpis? Elpis already with the wood. The speaker restrains a frightened witch. This does not concern you, citizen. But I heard screaming. The Magisterium Bureau of Investigation has this in hand. Return to your room and leave this to the professionals. Okay, but just for the record, you dig into your pants. See this badge? I'm a newly officiated Arcane Investigator. Thank the giants I changed out of my PJ. See? See, this is why you change out of your pajamas. This is why. Ah, you must be Kabili, the new graduate from the academy joining our ranks. I don't technically start till tomorrow, but it's nice to meet you. I'm Oberon, or sorceress forensics expert, to say nothing of my knowledge in criminal law, rhetoric, and success rate as a prosecutor. Speaking of, I'm in the middle of transporting the prime suspect in tonight's robbery into custody. I know my curse, but he looks like an adult hunter from the owl. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see if this breaks the curse, Elpis. What if this is the game that breaks the curse? It could be. She used dangerous magic to destroy train property and make off with a singularly dangerous magic artifact. So I plan to make her stand trial and pay for what she's done. The restrained witch stares at the ground, not protesting, but she looks cute. She looks cute. A dangerous artifact? Did anything else get stolen from that safe? I ask because a certain someone's dad may have given them a watch to celebrate their new job. The only object stolen from the safe was a powerful artifact, an arcane power gem. Whew, I mean, the priceless stone originally belonged to the recently deceased father of this witch, Esmeta Jukar, and her brother Foley Jukar. Okay, so wait, it belonged to her family, but we think she stole it? Though the finer details of their father's will remain under active magisterial investigation, the power gem was released to the authorities so it could be displayed at the father's funeral in the capital. As the gem was entrusted to the provincial guard for safekeeping, Ismeta's act of theft will be considered a crime against the magisterium itself. That's pretty serious. And you're sure she did it? It's the same old story. Those with arcane power think they can get away with anything. Do they? Is that how this world works? Fear not. Justice will be done and she'll never cast a spell again. Mwahaha. Ismeta says nothing, watching the snow-capped mountains roll past. Even though you're sleep-deprived, hungry, and embarrassed because your hair is doing that thing again, you can't help but notice there is something about her look. You tell yourself to stay out of this, but can you? Excuse me? Ismeta turns to you, surprised. You roll out of bed, hear half the facts, and think I've got it wrong? I mean, isn't it magisterium protocol to give the accused counsel? If you're volunteering to defend Ismeta, I won't stand in your way. What? But I haven't had my new investigator orientation yet. Nobody knows my emergency contacts. I can't think of a better orientation than this. I've already alerted the train conductor and cordoned the safe room and other areas of interest from the rest of the passengers. Review the crime scene. Question Ismeta and her brother Foley, the only other suspect. You better hurry. I anticipate notching another guilty verdict by the time we arrive in the capital. Hold the gramophone. We're doing the trial here? Tonight? The rest of our judicial team are already on board and have been alerted to the matter at hand. Empath Willa and Educator Zircon are making preparations as we speak. While you're at it, maybe you can get a straight answer out of her. Straight answer? Ismeta, enlighten our investigator as to your whereabouts tonight. I can't say. What? You don't have an alibi? I admire your courage in defending her. We should all aspire to look so bold. Wait, I just realized we can't do the trial tonight. And why is that? It's that, a valiant effort. I look forward to seeing the fruits of your investigation. Flashes a winning smile, leading Ismeta away. Great. Meeting my future coworkers while stumbling through my first case? What could possibly go wrong? Maybe I'll get myself sent back to my flower's parent shop sooner than expected. At any rate, I better start investigating. Though not ideal, I can use my travel case to store and make note of any evidence I find. I better keep my eyes open. Anything I find could become a vital piece of evidence in the upcoming trial. Oh. You grab your stuff, Crowless? Oh, so this is it over here. Okay. I can always check what I've collected by pressing that big old inventory button. In fact, I should do that right now. I should press this button right here. You see this button above my head? That one. That one. Pick an item to read its description. Investigator contract. Official magisterium startup paperwork I've yet to fill out. Details how I'm supposed to work with the automation Zircon and investigators Bartholomew, Oberon Bizarre, and Willa Mayweed. And my train ticket. Ticket that doubles as shameless self-promotion for the train. Propelled by runestone wheels, the Quartzway Express travels at a blistering pace of 10 meters per second. Okay. When I click on a piece of evidence, I can give myself a refresher. Whatever happened here, it definitely involved the Transilio rune spell. And let's be real, I mostly slept through Oh my god, we slept through the class. I'll need to ask people how that spell works if I'm going to figure how. Okay, I feel like we need to take inventory of anything that is like underlined or bolded. I should probably get a pen and paper. Should I get a pen and paper? Do we think I should get a pen and paper? Do we think we need that? Or are y'all gonna remember this? Right, y'all? I trust that you all can remember this, right? Right? I don't need to remember a thing. We got this. We got this. Once I gather all the evidence from interviews and investigating the train, I can let everyone know I'm ready to start the trial. I can't remember what I had for lunch today. Oh no. We're screwed. Of course, now I'm tired. Alright, enough stalling. Let's get to it. Okay. So we have 4 different options. I don't know who I am right now. Oh, no! What do you mean? Okay. I mean, I think we... Question... Let's look at her room for clues, and then... I feel like we should question her last. You head to Ismeta's room. The space is crammed tight with books. It doesn't help Ismeta staying in one of the smallest, cheapest rooms on the train. Why did I say plane? What is wrong with me? Having returned from dropping Ismeta off in the dining car, Oberon stops around searching for clues. You're careful to avoid stepping in the glowing embers of the Transilio rune in the center of the room. What? There's another one of these teleporting rooms inside Ismeta's room? Now this is really starting to look bad for proving her innocence. Search the room. A stack of magic textbooks. It's a little over my head. Of course it is. Which volume is too much for you? Nature of spellcraft in our geocentric plane? Herbal properties of night fungi? Simple magic for simple folks? I'm gonna ignore that last thought. And hey, what's this? One of her books is using a letter as a bookmark. It's from the Oak and Solarium University, welcoming her to the Spellcraft Development Program. Join a team of expert magicians developing the next generation of spellcraft. While working here, you'll have access to the Solarium's vast conduit of arcane power. If she just got offered a fancy gig in academia, why would she bother stealing a power gem? Because academia don't pay a damn thing. Academia don't pay. That's why. Let's look in the closet. This would be a perfect place to hide the power gem if Ismeta stole it. Too bad it's empty! I'm sure a witch of Ismeta's caliber could think of a better hiding place than this. Nothing in the suitcase. That window is locked, I think. Then again, understanding user design is never my strong suit. Why they gotta make everyday objects impossible to use? Oh. Are we a big dum-dum? Are we a big dum-dum? Uh-oh. I looked different. My professor has a Ferrari. Your professor has a Ferrari? He doing something on the side. Or he married rich. Academia don't pay a damn thing. Also, how you doing up, Bick? Welcome in. Looking at you, hotel shower. Oh, do we stink? Wait. Does Kabili stink? If he doesn't know how to use the hotel showers? I'm concerned. Why do beds look so good when you're tired? If only I was back in my own room and there hadn't been a serious crime. Kabili, if you make one more longing sigh. Yep! It is the one and only epic. Crazy, right? The one and only epic is returning to the Twitch game. Transilia rune is drawn on the ground. The calligraphy on its sigils is clean, and I'm just gonna say, beautiful. Allow me to interject. Judging by the arcane suit around the lines, it's clear this translocation spell was recently drawn and successfully cast. Okay, but there's no way to confirm it was specifically Ismeta who used this to teleport. Then again, it doesn't look good for her. Okay. So now we have the letter. And we have a copy of the rune. My guess is that we'll end up filling all these boxes with stuff. Okay. Let's talk to Oberon. Oh, so we could ask him a whole bunch of things. What's his role? As our unit's sorceress forensic expert, there isn't an iota of Arcanum that I haven't studied in addition to dabbling in alchemy, cryptobotany, and hover polo. What the fuck is hover polo? You an athlete? Are you an athlete? Because that worked out real well for Elpis last time. Worked out real well. In this case, I'll use my breadth of experiences and insight to prove Ismeta is without a doubt guilty. I'd hate to be in my shoes. Oberon does not return your laugh. Beautiful. I don't have time for whatever game you're playing. Unlike someone else I know, I'm working. Ouch. Okay, tell me the timeline of events. Tell me the timeline. I'm sorry, Elpis. Listen, I hope I'm wrong. Okay? I really do. If you must know, I volunteered to stand watch outside the safe room starting at 8 p.m. tonight. At 1:55 a.m., I made a routine inspection inside the safe room. Hi, Buster. Welcome on in. I discovered the broken safe and the missing gem. I immediately began investigating and found Foley in his room sleeping. Meanwhile, his sister, Ismeta, wasn't in hers. I suspected the strangely absent Ismeta, who I knew to be a powerful witch capable of teleporting herself via Transilio runes. I tried to alert Willa to locate Ismeta, but she was momentarily disposed to freshen up. Freshen up, huh? Freshen up? How you doing today, Buster? What's going on? What's going on? After minutes of searching on my own, I successfully captured Ismeta, who I had caught sneaking back to her room. It was then that I ran into another potential suspect. You mean me? Leave me out of this. I wonder if... I guess I should ask all the questions now. I mean, okay, we already know that he thinks Ismeta stole it, right? So I'm not even gonna And then we're gonna read, she broke into the safe, stole the gem, and transported out. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. If that's true, how come you found her wandering the halls instead of inside her room? Ah, good point, Kabili. We're thinking now. She likely misjudged the jump distance. One should never attempt magic with a guilty conscience. Okay. So, in your expert opinion, does anything seem out of place? I'm confident the power gem is here. It's only a matter of time until its hiding place is revealed. You sound awfully short for someone who's looked in that closet twice now. Playing your favorite game. Wait, my favorite game? What's my favorite game? What's my favorite? Got Friday. Oh, that game. Yeah. You have fun with that. Well, you know, the detecting would be better if our detective knew things. Our detective slept through some of his classes, so I don't know how we got to where we are, but yet here we are. If you insist on interrupting, who do you think stole the gem? Wait, you're serious? This is just for sport, from one investigator to another. It'll have no bearing on the outcome of the case. Nope, I'm gonna keep my own counsel. Too cowardly for a guess? Frankly, I'm not surprised. Rude. Tell me about this spell. Let me guess, the Transilia rune wasn't on your finals? It was, don't remind me. I'll have fun with it, nice and chill. I can relate. You can relate to Kabili? Well, Kabili's gonna make this investigation a little tough. He doesn't have all the information we need. Here's a refresher. Spellcasters have to be careful with Transilia runes. All organic and inorganic matter in the rune circle teleport along with the caster. Okay. If you don't want your limbs sliced off when using the rune to teleport, you have to stand perfectly still. I'll stick to trains for personal travel. Okay, so that's everything we can ask him. So let's go investigate somewhere else. Let's go to the crime scene. Head to the crime scene in the same trace. I can read. Center of the room, a circular Transilia rune still glows with embers of magical energy. The broken safe stands near the back wall, supported with 3 legs. Ordinarily before, but a section of it has been cleaved off, leaving the contents fully exposed. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, what? How does it stand with 3 legs? Whew, thank the giants, my watch is still in here. As you reclaim your watch, a silver automaton turns to watch you from the window. I don't like the way it's looking at me. Actually, I think I'll leave it in here. That would be how am I supposed to sound like a robot? This is one of those times I wish I had a voice changer on. How does one sound like a robot? How does one do this? Why does that look like a robot spectator? Maybe it is. Maybe that was the inspiration. Just floating around, watching things. Hopefully with no crazy attacks. That would be prudent, Kabili. This is an active crime scene. You must be our investigation team's educator. That is indeed my role and primary function. You may call me Zircon. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. I wish it was under better circumstances. At least I had time to change out of my PJs. In trying times, I find it beneficial to appreciate the minor details. I, for one, just saw a juvenile Hyrax emerge from its warren for a twilight repast. I was trying, Buster, I was trying! Huh. Since when are automatons programmed to appreciate cute stuff? Would you like to review my serial number or most recent diagnostic review? Under general comments, they wrote, experiences spike in unprompted self-reflection. Next service date moved up 3 months. It was good. Great, so that's what I got. I got robot voice. I could do robot voice. Cool. I'd love to chat, but I'm kind of in the middle of a whole whodunit thing. Hyrax are so cute. Wait, Hyrax are real? Wait. I'm gonna look this up. I didn't realize that was like a real thing. I'm looking this up right now. Wait, they have them at the Bronx Zoo? They're right. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Hold on. We temporarily interrupt this to show you what a Hyrax looks like. Hyrax. Hyrax. Look at this. They're cute. Oh, this one looks a little angry. That one looks a little angry. Okay. Okay, today we learned that Hyrax are real. We learned they are real. He this little guy. Spotted at the... There's different ones. Rock Hyrax and their pup. Rock's Hyraxes can be found throughout much of Africa and parts of the Middle East, live among boulders, rock crevices, colonies up to 60 individuals. These rock-loving animals are born and raised in burrows underground, hidden from view. There we go. There we go. Hi, Grum! Hi, Grum. Now we know. And knowing is half the battle, everybody. That's half the battle. Learned something new today. Learned something new. Why am I not surprised that Meeps knows the cute little things? I don't know. Also, wait, why am I Bandy XCOM? What? Grum. This is the rebrand. That is not the rebrand. That is not the rebrand. Oh, I can save? Oh, that's good. Okay. I mean, we'll be fine. Good thing for me to save. Ow. Why you hurting me? Why you hurting me? We just learned something new together. That was a bonk. That was a bonk. You might have seen one on top of another one. I just put in Hyrax. You know? We all have our roles to perform. If you have need of me, I shall be observing your methods. Zircon hovers to the side, watching you with their singular gaze. Let's search the room. Okay, we can start with this. Whoever cut this section of the safe must have really packed a punch. And to think whoever's responsible remains in our midst. Yep, definitely not sleeping tonight. Dirt on the floor. Directly below the safe is a smear of mud, ink, grease. Since I have no idea what it could be, I don't think I can add it to my list of evidence. Some things reveal themselves in due time. Their little fangs can stick out of their mouth. That's cute. I've sent this to my group of mates that oh. Meeps sharing the cute things. Meeps out here sharing the cute things. Scattered around the safe are aromatic plant leaves covered in red flecks. An inconclusive scan indicates they may be remnants of the Pyracantha plant. According to the Magisterium Codex, this is a highly acidic plant, often summoned by magic users, starting at 5th constellation level. How strong of an acid are we talking? Strong enough to melt through the walls of a safe? It is within the bounds of possibility. Not a good look for his meta. This entry does not explain where the leaves' red coloring originates from. Did the safe this? Since the rune sigils are still glowing like that, I'd say the spell was recently drawn and cast. As for the penmanship, it's even messier than my chicken scratch. Maybe whoever did this was in a hurry. Meeps is the CCO of the friend zone. I dig it. I dig it. Or just refuse to take calligraphy classes. Despite advancements in arcane forensics, it remains impossible to determine which direction the caster teleported using this rune. Thanks a lot, arcane forensics. Is that supposed to be a Galloway beetle? Why does it have so many legs? Not all mysteries are ours to solve. Oh god. I will say doing that voice is a little rough. Okay, wait. So I missed something. Did this one. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's something missing. Oh, wait, maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. Babies will stand on their backs. Aw, that's cute. I scanned the safe and concluded that the power gem is the only thing absent from its contents. Are you sure I can't just grab my watch back? No, never mind. Oh, okay, so that was the last one. Okay. Let's talk with Zircon. Jarol on the team. Jarol. I am an arcane automaton designed to adjudicate criminal cases on behalf of the Magisterium. To perform my functions, I have read-write privileges on the Magisterium's Codex of Collective Knowledge and Judicial Precedent. I don't know how long I can keep that going, but we'll keep trying. I'm jealous you can make sense of that thing. The one time I tried reading it, I got a headache from the table of contents alone. It is perplexing the laws of society are largely inscrutable to those who they're made to protect. I am a standard issue adjudicator with up-to-date cognition and processing nodes. Don't sell yourself short, you're unlike any automaton I've seen. I possess 0 deviations from standard operating procedure. That being said, Warble! A hat materializes on Zircon's head. What is your opinion of my chassis modification? Truth be told, I am myself undecided. I was being facetious about not possessing an opinion. I feel most myself with this headpiece. It's all the reason you need to wear something. I appreciate your prudent counsel. I shall henceforth be adorned thus. Okay. Before returning to my chamber to engage sleep mode for the evening, I ascertained Oberon was meant to watch the safe room door. How did someone break in here without him knowing? Maybe Mr. Perfect Cheekbones was a little lax in his watch. Yeah, maybe Mr. Perfect Cheekbones wasn't as perfect as he thought. An alternative theorem. Someone could have used the Transilio rune to teleport inside, escaping Oberon's detection. I like my idea better. Who do you think stole the gem? I am designed to withhold judgment until reviewing evidence and testimony at the upcoming trial. But you gotta have an inkling. Coming in contact with ink or any other liquid is dangerous to my chassis. Next question. Tell me about the Transilio spell. I searched the Magisterium Codex, subsection Major and Minor Arcanium, and found the following. Upon drawing the Transilio rune and casting the spell, everything inside the Transilio rune turns incorporeal and travels at 10 meters per second before resuming physical form at the spell's termination point. So to perform the spell, you need to draw one of the Transilio runes and then cast the spell. Furry!
OMG.
Hi, Furry! Thank you for the sub. God damn, that's a lot of months. That's a lot of months. Thank you for the sub. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you also for the break of doing robot voice so I can take a drink. How is the furriest of bees? Furry bee. Everyone go follow Furry. Oh, okay, let's go back to this. I can do the voice. That is correct. All you need is to draw the rune and cast the spell at sufficient level. Totally knew that. Thanks for the reminder. What is the power gem? What is this power gem that was stolen? The power gem is a relic from the era of the giants that stored large amounts of arcane energy. It is unknown what it originally made for. Holding the gem enables amateur magician. I almost said musicians. What the fuck? Holding the gem enables amateur magicians to cast spells at higher constellation levels. Additionally, magic stones have been known to overcharge. Oh my god, I can't. Nope, can't do that. Sounds pretty handy. Wish I had one of those during my arcane calligraphy finals. Unfortunately, it wouldn't have aided you in memorizing the runestone tables. Good to know my grades are accessible from the Magisterium Codex. That is great. Great. Love that. Love that for you, Kabili. Love that. Okay. Let's search Foley's room. Is Foley even still there? Why does Foley have such a nice room compared to his sister? This place is fancy and huge. Well, comparatively big, because, you know, still on a train. Let's search the room. Good for Foley, breaking out of gender norms and taking up knitting. Though he's got some serious learning to do. These knitting needles are majorly scuffed. I'll make a note to give Foley some tips later. Foley's got a lot of clothes, but for my taste, his duds are mostly duds. That's me trying to be cool with the fact that I could never afford half of this. Yeah, I can't afford that either. This window is Loctite. Even if Foley had this open, he'd have to have some sort of acrobat to get on the roof. Can Furry get a hiya? Hi, Furry. How you doing? What you making tonight? What's happening? What's happening? Thank you for the sub. I appreciate you. I appreciate the sub. That's a lot of months. That's a lot of months. Yo, I want to lay in this bed. Look at this big bed. Look at this big comfy looking bed. Looks like your standard arcane powered clock. Too bad it's busted as all get out. According to this hunk of junk, it's already 4 chimes past noon. If only that was the actual time, then I'd be at my new apartment and maybe even asleep. Oh, someone just came in. I made tuna steaks. I don't think I've ever had a tuna steak. Kabili! Hi! An out-of-breath woman appears, clothes and hair askew. Do I know you? We met when you were ordering that drink from the bartender. You know, the one you thought was super cute. How'd you know that? Was I that obvious or... Wait, you must be... Ding, ding, ding! You were about to guess it. I'm Willa. Nice to officially meet you. You're the empath, right? That means you have the power to... Oh no! Read people's minds? Sorry to disappoint, but a mind reader, this girl is not. Basically, my power allows me to read people's moods. I can tell what someone is feeling, even if they're trying to hide it. Though it's not as powerful as telepathy, mood reading's still a huge help to understand suspects and witnesses' emotions, vibes, and very reciprocated crushes. I'd say that's a relief, but I'm already mortified. Speaking of vibes, I love how it's not even your first day, and bam! You're already challenging the Big O. I wish there was a better way you put that. I don't think he's challenging the Big O, maybe a Big O. Honestly, I'm feeling a little over my head. Don't worry, feeling overwhelmed is practically the default mental condition. That's too real. That's too real. Anyway, I should let you get back to making profound discoveries about that clock or whatever. If you need any empathetic insight, just think happy thoughts. Think happy thoughts. Think happy thoughts. Willa turns away to brazenly leaf through Foley's wardrobe, admiring the make of his frilly shirts. Okay. So all these papers. A lot of business correspondence is scattered around here. Notably, the stack of customer complaints for Foley's line of successful magic weights. That kettlebell gets heavier with every swing. Well, isn't that kind of good if you're trying to work out? Skimming these letters, it seems like people are upset because after 6 months, the kettlebells stop resetting their weight to 0. I'd probably tell my mom, not that she ever works out, but you know, just in case. There's gonna be one of those sigils on the bottom of this, isn't there? I think this thread count on the rug is higher than my sheets at home. I wonder if anyone would notice if I took this home with me. Hey, I just picked up a criminal tinge on your aura. One crime is already more than enough. I feel like if we move that, there'd be a sigil. Timeline of the events. So, I went to sleep in my room. You get just the best sleep on a train, right? Maybe not if you're Kabili. And all of a sudden at 2 a.m., bam! Vacate your room, post haste. We have need of your investigative services. Is that supposed to be Oberon? I told him to hold his horseflies. A lady can't just rush out of a room at the drop of Tam O'Shanter. When I was good and ready, I came out and got the lowdown from his lordship, Oberon. Then he sent me here where I met my awesome new coworker. I like how people just watch you investigate. Yeah, you know, I'm on my own. I'm in training. I'm not even in training. It's my first day. They're watching me, and it's my first crime that I'm investigating to make sure that I investigate sufficiently. You know, it's like when you're in training and your boss is watching you and then like walking you through things. Thanks for the objective recount. Who do you think stole the gem? Who do I think stole it? Honestly, I just woke up and I'm still getting those gross sap crusties out of my eyes. I will say, before I came in here, Oberon had me do a mood reading on his meta, and get this. I picked up exactly 0 guilty vibes. She was mostly scared and a little hungry. Seriously? Then why is Oberon still accusing her? Unfortunately, mood reading isn't a fully unimpeachable method of criminal investigation, whatever that means. In any case, it's not surprising Oberon has his meta and his sights for this. Whenever there's a crime, his first and only plan, blame the strongest magic user. So he's sus. He's also sus. Tell me about your necklace. What happened? Oh, this old thing? It's a mood pendant. It lights up depending on my emotions. If it ever turns red, watch out. I bite. Oh, when I met you for drinks, it didn't blue like that. It's probably all shiny now on account of the sweet flying dream I had earlier. How come the best things in life are so soon? Oh, give me 1 second. How? I don't know how to turn it off, whatever. Save. Let's save again. Okay, return. It ain't a pre-crime if you don't get pre-caught. I guess you not wrong. You not wrong. I mean, so far, you know, we're just doing some investigating. We're checking some things, right? We're just gonna make sure that everything looks good, and maybe we are going to save Ismeta from some not so great things, maybe. Tell me about your role on the investigative team. So I'm the team empath because it turns out reading people's emotions is real helpful when sussing out criminals. Speaking of, I talked to Foley tonight. Ismeta's brother? Something's definitely not on the level with that guy. More specific? I tried digging a little deeper, but Oberon wouldn't let me. He basically pushed me out here to search, even though it's like, hello, I've got 2 left roots when it comes to finding physical evidence. Maybe don't stand on top of the suspect's luggage? This is what I mean! I get a little shy talking about myself. It's like, what is there to say? I was born in... Oh. Oh, girl. Oh. I think she had a lot to say. Yeah, so that's basically it. What just happened? I didn't click all that. I didn't click all that. That was the game. That was the game. So she just rambled, and we just let her ramble. Got it. I did not. I think that is meant to just be like the rambling of someone who's like, so I was born here, and then I did this really cool thing, and then I went here, and then my family was like from here, and then they did this, and then blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, like before I knew it, I was like 18, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh my god, I have my whole life ahead of me. What am I supposed to do? And then all of a sudden I found myself here, and I could read from people's minds, and like, oh my god, like, I think it's like one of those where it's just the very quick rambling, and you're not really supposed to be able to understand all of it. And even my quick rambling was not probably as fast as that was intended to be. Let's investigate elsewhere. Time to question Ismeta. Hello, welcome in. Get your candy, get those Reese's peanut butter cups. You walk to the train's dining car. Ordinarily, there'd be a few other night owl passengers, but the case has scared everyone away. Ismeta stares out the window, nervously tapping her toes. Across the room looks a man looking just like her eats an omelet. Must be her brother. A weary sentry reads the paper, keeping an eye on the 2 suspects. What do you want to do? Let's talk to Foley first. This is Foley. Okay. I'm doing well. How you doing? How you doing? The game did do a funny, Buster. The game did do a funny. Just the guy I wanted to see. Who, me? What would you say if I offered you a delectable new beverage that also restores your mana? What? Introducing my next hit product, Mana Storm Light, and Mana Storm for Teens. Hi, I'm Foley Jukar, successful businessman and inventor as seen on the 30 Under 30 list in Magical Business bi-monthly. And here's the best part. Your boy still got open slots for investment in this exciting new energy drink venture. You want to make 1 million sovereigns or what? Sorry, trying to figure out the whole who stole your father's power gem thing.
It's me, Mario!
Hi, Raven! Welcome in. We're doing our best to do some voice acting today. I don't know how well it's going, but it's going, you know? How was your meeting that should have been an email? This trifling matter will be passed us sooner rather than later. What's the harm in talking some business? Don't you want to get that power gem recovered? Fair enough, but let's circle back later to how we can synergize our investment strategies. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him already. Where were you earlier tonight? I was in my room manifesting future business opportunities. When Oberon knocked on my door to tell me about the robbery, I was still in my silk PJs. He even searched my room for the gem and only found one thing of note. My handsome set of barkskin luggage. Only the best for this guy. He did it, case closed. What if Oberon did it? What if Oberon did it and tried to pawn it off on these two? You know, effectively casting that spell is beyond a humble 3rd constellation level novice like myself. I'd like to think my real magic power is my business acumen. I hate him! Oh my god, I hope it's him. I hope it's him. Who do you think stole the gem? It kills me saying this, but it's not looking great for my little sis. A Transilia rune in her room? The safe broken by powerful magic? I hope you and your team find my pop's magic rock. Let's ask him some personal questions. Don't get me started. The whole thing about the will was a nightmare. In the middle of this deeply personal moment of loss for my family and I, the Magisterium jumps in, interrupting everything. Turns out, they have a strict rule about not starting any personal or business relationships between Magisterium agents and beneficiaries in an ongoing review. Wait, what? I was just testing the water to see if anyone was interested in one of my solid platinum ideas, but the Magisterium got all huffy. Didn't you just ask me if I wanted to invest in something? I tried making my case, but the pencil pushers insisted Ismeta and I can't have any untoward social or business contact with Magisterium people till they're done reviewing Pop's will. They're still reviewing the case even now, so my idea for naturally flavored jelly cubes will have to go unfunded. Yeah, talk about a personal tragedy. If he didn't, he's trying to deflect on his sister, he's even worse. Look at him. Of course he's worse. Look at him. We're inside in a train, and this bro's got sunglasses on his head. Like, come on. Come on. He did it, case closed. My meeting was productive. I'm glad it was productive then. I'm glad it was productive. Let's see what you got to say about your sister. Oh my god, that's what I'm saying. This is why his voice is meta. Yeah, she's alright. It's funny because I'm supposed to be the big brother, but she gets all the respect in the family because of her fancy schmancy arcane research. But it's whatever. I always love being an underdog, especially when they get to wear custom designer suits. At least he's not wearing one of those Bluetooth earpieces the business bros used to wear back in the day. Well, the problem is that now all of us just wear Bluetooth earpieces. All of them. Like, all of us. I nailed the voice. Thank you. Thank you. Mom wears sunglasses in her head when she's inside. Like, at home, too, though. But also, to not lose them is fine. Like, he's on a train, and he's not going anywhere for a couple days. He's not going outside of the train for a while. We're on a train in transit to somewhere. Keep him on your desk, bro. Keep him on your desk. Tell me something about yourself. An invitation to talk about myself? Don't mind if I do. What have I done? You're looking at a champion inventor and businessman. My claim to fame is making and marketing my magic weights, but a one-trick pony this man is not. I'm working on designing bespoke with workout clothes, ethically sourced cufflinks, and someday, the holy grail, luxury timeshares. I hate it. I hate it. We're done with him. We are done with Foley. Hopefully his sister is a bit better. Stab him? This is not, we're not a murder mystery this time. I know that's like the brand here normally, but we're not a murder mystery this time. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We got this. We got this. Hey, it's Kabili, right? Thanks for helping me like this. Don't worry. I'm very confident in my professional abilities. What? Don't mind me. Just trying to lighten the mood. How can I help with your investigation? Where were you earlier tonight? I can't say where I was. Ismeta, you're about to be put on trial for the robbery of a dangerous artifact. You could go to jail for this. Come on, if you tell me where you were, I'll make defending you so much easier. I'm sure you're up for the challenge. For the first time, I wish someone believed me less. How is that his sister in comparison? I don't know, that's why I'm trying to give her like a little bit more of like a timid, like, you know, low-key sort of voice, you know? Tell me about the Transilio spell. I know it doesn't help my case, but I've made a career out of performing advanced magic, like the Transilio rune. The Transilio spell is actually a fascinating case example of modern arcanists updating a spell originally meant to help quartz miners escape cave-ins. Sorry, this probably isn't the time for an arcane history lesson. Here's how the spell works. A 5th level constellation mage, or higher, can use the spell to teleport exactly 50 meters away. Starting at 3rd level, mages can do a weakened version of the spell, only teleporting a few millimeters away. I hope that's useful. It is useful because your brother said that he is a 3rd level spellcaster. So, helpful. What is that power gem anyway? The power gem is a family heirloom and powerful artifact from the time of the giants. Ever since my great-great-great-great-grandma found it, every generation's taken a crack at figuring out what it was really made for. I hope you're able to recover it. I'd hate for all that family history to just vanish. Who do you think stole it? I honestly have no idea. I'd hate to imagine Foley did it, but I don't see how or why he'd do this. He's only interested in magic when there's a way to market and sell it. Maybe there's someone else we don't know about. What do you think about the investigation to your father's will? The Magisterium's still reviewing my dad's will since he owned a lot of valuable books and potentially dangerous relics. The lion's share of his belongings were supposed to be split between Foley and I, but then it all got held up in the Magisterium's audit. It's frustrating because I plan to translate some of my dad's first edition magic books and make the text available to any spellheads for free. I even picked out an outfit to wear for my author photo. In any case, they released the power gem to the authorities so they could show the gem at my dad's funeral, for all the good that did. Tell me about your brother. Tell me about that douchebag. What's to tell? My big brother and I used to be close, but then time does what time does. Suddenly a year passes, and you realize you haven't spoken since the equinox. Anyway, we're very different people. My idea of a good time is figuring out how to cast a new esoteric bit of magic. Meanwhile, my brother spends all his time writing taglines for business, speaking at conventions, getting his products sponsored in theatrical shows, getting front row tickets to said theatrical shows. Honestly, I'm proud of him, and only a little jealous. When you ask questions of this game, Raven, why you gotta trigger me like this? Why you gotta trigger me like this, Raven? Tell me about yourself. I'm a 5th constellation level witch and professional arcane researcher. Anything more personal? How's this for a fun fact? I don't want to be found guilty of a crime I didn't commit. I deserve that one. I did in fact deserve that one. Let's talk to the sentry. Sorry, the only reason I'm here is to make sure those two don't try anything. If you'll excuse me, I have to finish reading this article about a healthy work-life balance. Ugh, now I really can't bother him. I've got his mental health to think about. I've heard this game was... Is it really only an hour long? Investigate the room. I tried to look at just about nothing to go into it blind. I did hear it was short. But I didn't want to, like, research anything because I was nervous. I was a little nervous about, like, if I see too much, like, would it, you know, like, do too much. I think, actually, but now that you mention it, did the, I don't remember if, what it said. Does Steam say how long it is? I heard this game was fun. It is $5. It is. You can get it on Steam. Oh, we can look outside. We're going past the cranberry marshes on a moonlit night. Even if my career goes up in flames, at least I got to see this. At least we got to see this. Silver linings. Silver, what's this paper? The train runs a slick business. They sell tickets to cram all the passengers in here and then upsell us on the watered down mixed drinks. Honestly, I'm glad that bartender with the impeccable jawline isn't here. I'm too nervous to make a good impression. Wait a minute. According to this itemized bar tab, that handsome so-and-so charged me double for my weak gin and cucumber soda? I'm making note of this to bug that smoke show later. Maybe this will be the start of a beautiful relationship, or at the very least, a refund. Damn, we got screwed! We got screwed, and not even in the good way! If there weren't so many witnesses, I'd treat myself to a little pick-me-up. Neither which I can say without spoilers. Okay. Hey, get your paws off the good stuff. Just checking the vintage on this bottle of orange juice. It's in the garbage. Nothing says, I've made it, like digging through the trash. That's odd. There's a sandwich in here. Going off the pictures on the dining car menu, I'd say this is beet, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. Strange thing, the sandwich is completely untouched except for the fact that it's missing all the lettuce. I don't know what kind of leafy green was supposed to be in here, but everyone should eat their no, don't eat the vegetables. I'm making note of this to find whoever is responsible for this monstrosity. Okay. Oh. This is probably unrelated to my investigation, but who puts a chandelier on a train? Anything to class up this dump. I'm impressed. Whoever cast this glow's incantation on the fixture really knows their illumination spellcraft. Okay. So she knows about the magic. The brother is just like, at least it looks nice. Okay, something tells me that's all the evidence I'm gonna find. Only thing left to do is let everyone know I'm ready for the trial. Remember, it's okay that I don't have everything figured out about tonight's robbery. New evidence might be revealed at the trial. Well, damn. Well, damn. Proceed to the trial. There is going to be an ad break that's going to run soon. There it is. So we'll let the ad break run, and then we will go to said trial. So take a break. Go get a drink. I'm going to get a drink because I've been reading a lot, and I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Alright, we're ready. We're ready to go to the trial. Everybody remembers everything. We got the necklace that responds to the moods. Stolen power gem. Remember, if it goes red, she bites. Red, she bites. The rune. Guide to translocation. All organic and inorganic matter will teleport with the caster. Okay. Third constellation mages can do a weakened version, only teleporting a few millimeters away. The scarf. Oh, we could look at the whole bar tab. Thank you for the welcome back. So, gin and cucumber soda, maple fizz by WM. Hold on. 717, she ordered ginger root. Okay. Foley gets an apple wine brandy at 9 o'clock. Okay. Honey Jack. Oh, this is Oberon. That's right, because his name isn't O-O. Okay. So Willow was there drinking for a bit. Willow was drinking for a bit. Okay. Stack of complaints. I mean, I'm really feeling like it's Foley. I'm feeling like it's Foley. Who only eats the lettuce? Yeah, who only eats the lettuce? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You make your way to the train's dining car, which has been hastily rearranged for the trial. From the defendant's box is Meta fidgets. Foley sits off to the side, stifling a yawn. Zircon floats over, scanning your inventory of evidence to enter into official court record. Still looking good with that hat, Zircon. While I appreciate your earlier counsel, do not expect any personal favors in the upcoming trial. You wearing that hat is the only personal favor I need. I appreciate your understanding. I wish us all a successful trial. Zircon hovers back to the adjudicator bench, performing final diagnostic checks. So it's really happening. I've got the Steam DB extension on my browser. Doing this on, there's one person playing it right now. That's me! Well, probably me. It's probably me! Don't worry, since it's your first time in court, I'll be your co-counsel. Plus, I'd give anything to wipe that smirk off Oberon's face. Willow leads you to a makeshift desk opposite Oberon, who's busy quaffing his hair. Quaff, quaff, quaff. It's not toss, toss, toss. It's quaff, quaff, quaff. How are you feeling? And give it to me straight. I can read your mood like a picture book. Oh, you know, as long as you help, I'll be okay. If you ever need a lifeline, just think, help me, Willow! Loud as you can. Isn't quaffing another way of saying drinking? I don't know. I've never heard of it in terms of drinking. Can do, Willa. Zircon hovers to the adjudicator bench. Excuse me, Zircon, what are you wearing? My physical appearance has no bearing on the proceedings. Love the new look, Z. Now, if everyone is finished interrupting. This is case 451,231-A. Presiding adjudicator is myself, Automaton Zircon, model number 312173C23. Coefficient. Oh, is it? Okay. Well, we learned something new today. Ismeta, you are on trial for destruction of trained property and stealing your father's power gem. I didn't do it. You've got to believe me. I know my inflection's all over the place, but I'm telling the truth. If you are innocent, you have nothing to fear. Investigator Oberon, are you ready to serve as prosecutor? To think, in less than 1 hour, I'll have notched another guilty verdict. Investigator Kabili, are you ready to speak to Ismeta's defense? Don't mind how much Kabili's sweating, Zerk. I'm the empath, and I say Kabili's great. If you're innocent, you have nothing to fear. I think both games in life has told us otherwise. Big facts. Oberon, would you begin the trial by presenting your findings? Look alive, Kabili. Once he's done yakking, it'll be on you to cross-examine him. Can't wait. Witness testimony. All right. Ismeta and her brother were named co-inheritors of her father's power gem. Importantly, Ismeta is an arcane researcher who needs large stones of magical energy to power her studies into the development of new spellcraft. It's clear Ismeta stole the gem to power her upcoming experiments. Without full control of this gem, Ismeta has no other way to access sufficient magic power to continue her research. A succinct argument. Ismeta had motive to commit the crime. It's as simple as that. It's all over. Hey, no defeatism here, especially since Oberon said something that contradicts the evidence. He did? This guy is always twisting things around to get his way. Here's what you gotta do. Search through Oberon's statements using the next and previous arrows as seen here. Don't click these buttons for now. They're just for show. Where did these come from? While you're scrubbing through the testimony using those next and previous arrows, search for the one statement that contradicts the facts of this case. There's always one statement containing a lie during testimony. Don't ask me how or why, no, that's just the biz. When you find the statement that feels incorrect, go to your inventory and look for a piece of evidence that proves the displayed statement must be false. Okay, so that's why we're still able to get to all this. Right, so something about what he did or what she did. She'll have, oh, this is it. She'll have access, okay. Remember, selecting a piece of evidence inside your inventory lets you read a brief description of the item. The last step is to select that piece of evidence and press the present button to show it to Zircon, so that you can make your arguments and advance the trial. It looks something like this. In case you're wondering, the present button will show up inside your inventory screen during the cross-examination. If you're incorrect by selecting either the wrong statement or the wrong piece of evidence, don't panic. Zircon will let you try again. Probably. Feeling better already. If you ever feel stuck during a cross-examination, press the Talk to Willa button inside your inventory. If you choose to talk to me, I can give you this whole explainer spiel again. I can also use my empath powers to get you a hint to help with your current cross-examination. If you're really feeling stuck, I can even tap into some next level power to have you advance the trial without having to solve the current cross-examination puzzle yourself. Be warned, that's basically asking the powers beyond the pale to do your job for you. How powerful are you exactly? Alright, enough yakking. Let's get to the cross-examination already. Remember, find the one statement containing a lie, then present the piece of evidence that proves it. You'll do real great. This is chapter 1 in your rise to legal greatness. Okay, so we know it's this. And it's because she'll have access to their vast conduit of power. You just said Ismeta stole the gem because that was the only way she could gain access to power. What of it? Well, I don't want to say you're lying, but what if I told you she didn't need some paltry gem? Because she just accepted a research position at Oaken Solarium. What? I found her acceptance letter being used as a bookmark, which I love. Every time she closes her book, boom! A little hit of good news. Oberon, I'm surprised you missed this. More like he didn't bring it up because it didn't help his case. Wait, he can do that? That acceptance letter proves nothing. Perhaps she coveted the gem to unlock its arcane secrets for herself. Wow, speculate much? Oberon, speak only to the facts for your arguments. In that case, can I get on with my testimony? The circumstances of the crime are enough to prove Ismeta perpetrated tonight's robbery. You may carry on with your testimony. Seriously? Zircon's gonna let him continue? But I caught him out in a clear lie. I know, I thought about saying objection. I did think about it. It'll take more than one contradiction to shut Oberon down and prove Ismeta's innocence. If only we had a more rigorous system of justice. On the bright side, check out Oberon's scowl. Allow me to continue my statement. There are Transilia rooms present in both Ismeta's room and at the crime scene. After examining the sigils, I found traces of arcane suit around both of them. This proves they were both activated and successfully cast sometime tonight. As we all know, only 5th constellation level magicians can successfully activate the Transilia room to teleport. Lower level magic users can't use the spell whatsoever. Since Ismeta is the only 5th level magician aboard the train, we can deduce that she alone would have used the spells to break into the safe room and thus must be guilty of the crime. It's clear the Transilia rooms are involved in the crime. And since Ismeta is the only 5th constellation level magician on the train, the guilt must lie with her. Are we sure she's the only 5th level here? Who can say what untold powers lie in the heart of us all? Upon reviewing the Mysterium Codex, I can confirm she is only 5th level magician on board. The train is otherwise populated with 3rd levels and a solitary 4th level. At the mention of 4th level, Oberon casts a shadowy prestidigitation spell to ruffle his billowing shirt. Oh, shut the fuck up, Doro. Don't get discouraged, Kabili. This is classic Oberon, brazenly showing off and using circular logic to get his way. Honestly, it's working on both counts. Not this time. I can't put my branches on it, but there's something off with his theory. I wonder if he could teach me how to do that spell later. Kabili, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Remember, if you get stuck, you can ask me for help. Okay. So, we know that lower level ones can use it. It'll just be a weakened version. It's... how often do you run at? Yeah, I run 3 minutes every hour. So it's also enough time to get up and like, walk away. It's interesting, Oberon. You claim only 5th level magicians can perform the Transilio spell. Sorcery of that magnitude can only be performed by the arcane elite. That's not what I found out, because according to the spell's official description, even a 3rd level magic user can successfully activate the rune for a minor version of the spell. While Ismeta might be the only 5th level magician on board, the train's rife with 3rd levels. The activated rooms aren't enough to prove Ismeta had anything to do with the robbery. Kabili's logic is sound. While Kabili may be right on a technicality, it doesn't change the facts. How about I talk about the evidence I found in the safe room? There's more than enough to prove Ismeta's guilty in this senseless crime. As long as you cease editorializing, you may proceed. Keep it up, Kabili. Doesn't take an empath to tell you're chipping away at Oberon's resolve. Okay, now we're talking about the safe. As we've established earlier, the Transilio rune was found in Ismeta's room, which I believe she used to translocate into the safe room undetected. Once inside the safe room, she summoned an acidic Pacatha plant to melt the safe door open. There's no other plausible source for these leaves. This 5th level constellation summoning spell is known as a speciality of Ismeta's spellcraft, further implying her guilt. With it open, it'd be easy for her to reach inside and steal the gem. Then, make her escape the quickly squelched Transilio room I caught in her hallway. So you believe the safe was broken by a magically summoned Pacatha plant. The evidence speaks for itself, and as we've just established, Ismeta is the only 5th constellation spellcaster aboard the train. The truth is taking shape in my crystalline processing unit. Quick, Kabili, get to cross-examining him already. Find that contradiction. Okay, so let's see. Person orders this and only eats the lettuce. The drinks. So I think the scratch tip is what was probably used to do the rune, I would guess. But that doesn't... Like, I would think that's what was used to do the rune, but that doesn't tell me. Paperwork. Or... So, it could be this. That if he had the plant with him, he could have teleported with the plant, I'm thinking. If he had it with him. This is the rune. See, this one is in a hurry, which is why I think that's what he drew. That's the gem itself. See, so he could have gotten the rune, and it would have helped him get out faster. Thinking about this. Now we're thinking. Once inside the safe room, she summoned this. No, 5th constellation spellcraft. Be easy for her to reach inside and steal the gem. So something here is what we would be arguing against. The question is, what exactly? Let's see. There's no other plausible source. That's not really true. Look at this again. Or is it this? I'm trying to think of what it would be. I'm kind of torn between this for the summoning of it. I don't want to ask. With the safe open, it'd be easy. Yeah, it would be easy, but I don't think that's what happened. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Easy, she quickly sketched. The quick sketch is true, I just don't think it was her that quickly sketched. It's made to look like she was there. I don't want to get it wrong is the problem. I mean, I know I can, I just don't want to. Oh, without the lettuce. Wait. Beet, lettuce, and tomato. Hold up. Where's that receipt? Oh, this just shows that he ordered a drink, not a sandwich. Huh. Hi, Dan. How you doing? I think... this picture makes it look like everything got turned red by the beets. Maybe the tomatoes. The source for the leaves could be lettuce. It could not actually be. When I first saw the leaves scattered around the safe, I noticed they were covered in unusual red flecks. So it got me thinking, what if this isn't a pyro whatever plant? If you can't pronounce the plant's name, how can you expect to identify it? I'd wager this isn't some magical acid plant. I'd bet it's actually ordinary lettuce. Like straight from the beet, lettuceless tomato. That's why the sandwich was important. That's why the sandwich was important. Okay. Okay. I'm with you. I'm following now. I'm following. I'm doing well. We are following the logic of this game. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Those red flecks seen in these leaves, they're obviously from the beets in the sandwich. Kabili, can you prove this? Willa, did you just eat the evidence? In my defense, it has a killer aioli. It's tangy, sharp, and completely unlike Oberon's theory. Urgh. If this is indeed lettuce, what is it doing at the crime scene? I bet it was planted to frame his meta, who's known to be familiar with the pyracantha plant spell. Before the defense breaks out champagne to congratulate themselves, I just realized something. Why'd my whole body tense up? It's actually embarrassing. Earlier tonight, I found this slip of paper and never submitted it for review. And you only remembered it now? He always does this, submits late evidence so the defense doesn't have time to review it. This is highly unprecedented, but if it's authentic and relevant to the case... Really? You're gonna let him get away with this? I'll allow evidence to be entered into the record. I know Zircon said they wouldn't grant me any favors, but come on. Oberon, please proceed with your testimony in light of this new evidence. The Transilio jump. Okay. Observe this note, which I am certain was written in his meta's own fin hand. Fin hand? We're calling it a fin hand? Okay. When the note speaks of my room, that, of course, refers to Esmeta's room. Does it? Are we sure? Are we sure? If you'll forgive the dramatics, I can prove exactly where Ismeta teleported earlier tonight. From Ismeta's note, she clearly exhaustively analyzed how to translocate from her room directly to the safe room using a full 50-meter jump. There was nowhere else she could have landed. Because she's alive and well, it's obvious the spell was successful and carried her to her destination without any breaches in space-time. Okay. After gaining access to the room, a magician of Ismeta's power could employ any number of destructive spells to open the safe. I don't forgive the dramatics. This is clearly a fake. Nope. The space-time thing. The clock in the brother's room was not right. The clock in the brother's room was not right. Simply put, this note proves Ismeta did the math to ensure a full 50-meter translocation jump would land her precisely inside the safe room. If you would like to review the note, press the button I've completely labeled as note. You'll see what it looks like right there. Wow, can everyone make things appear like that? Also, I have a question about the so-called evidence. What if Ismeta traveled less than 50 meters? How do we know her jump distance for certain? After a thorough examination of the scorch marks around the room, I can definitively say this rune was used to translocate exactly 50 meters. Really? You're only telling us now? It wasn't pertinent until this moment. The forensic evidence is conclusive. The Transilio rune inside Ismeta's room was used for a full 50-meter jump. Well, what about that incomplete scribble in the lower right-hand corner of this note? It looks like something got cut off. It's drivel. Mindless scribbles while she works out the math of how to translocate to the safe room. What about where'd she get the paper? Is that anything? Ah!
Make sure my BB be eaten.
Thank you, Lars. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the pain. Thank you for the bits. He did eat. He had pizza. He had pizza today. I promise. I promise. You know who doesn't need to eat? Zircon. He does wear a nice hat, though. And he sounds a little bit like this. This note is starting to feel like decisive evidence. I know Oberon's got us in a headlock, but you've got to find something wrong with this note or it's all over. I thought you were supposed to be encouraging. I'm just being honest. This paper sucks for us real bad. The scorch marks around the room seem pretty inarguable. I have to assume the spell was used for a jump that traveled exactly 50 meters. Kabili, we await your cross-examination. Don't get discouraged, Kabili. You can do it. Probably. Okay, so he said the space-time thing, right? Where is it? Translocate. There was no breaches in space-time. So, tip of needles. Wait. But the clock isn't here as like a thing. Never assume. I know you're right. I shouldn't. Because the clock in his room said that it was like it whatever time it said. Try to remember. So the time that it said on the clock was like he was like, oh, I'd be in my room sleeping or whatever. Right? So it's 10 meters per second. The clock isn't an option. It's not this. Those are the business that after every 6 months they stop working. This is how he scribbled. Unless it's this, because this is... If he timed it correctly... Let me think about this, hold on. If he timed it correctly, 10 meters, 5 seconds, the clock was a mess. Did I get it right? I don't know if this is right. So actually, Kabila, you froze up. Okay, I'm thawed out and ready to try again. Feeling so okay, so that wasn't right. That wasn't right. Okay. Let's ask Willa. Believes it proves, but as Meta wasn't satisfied with this answer. Does not instantly teleport. So you don't instantly teleport. So it's not this. Unless I had the wrong... Did I have maybe the wrong statement? I still think... I still think it's that. Let me try this one. Okay, I think I just had the wrong... I think I had the right idea, wrong statement. Right idea, wrong statement. Judging by this map, Oberon claims that Ismeta's 50-meter location jump would have landed her exactly in the safe room. I thought you were speaking to Ismeta's defense. Oberon would be absolutely correct in his assumption, but he forgot to account for one thing. The speed of the train! What? The Transilio spell doesn't teleport the user instantly. When one activates the Transilio room, they travel at the speed of 10 meters per second until they arrive at their destination. Ugh, math, please no. Thanks to this shameless bit of self-promotion, we know the train moves at the speed of 10 meters per second. Talk about convenient. Reviewing the note, we know that Ismeta was jumping in the opposite direction that the train was moving in, effectively adding the train's speed to her jump distance. Importantly, given her smudged writing in the lower left corner, we can tell that she was accounting for the train's speed, unlike a certain prosecutor I know. Ugh. While combining all this, we can deduce that Ismela's 50-meter translocation jump couldn't have landed her in the safe room. Then where would she have ended up? According to my calculations, the place she teleported herself was... Willa's room! What? Were Willa and Ismeta getting it on? Willa's room. Is this true? Willa, back me up here. If you were with Ismeta, that proves her innocence. Willa? Sorry, Kabili. I can't say. Willa, you're serious? Ismeta, what about you? If I say anything, it risk... I've already said too much. I don't believe this for a moment. Neither witness is confirming it, and Kabili doesn't have a shred of evidence for this absurd claim. But if you do the arithmetic for the translocation jump... I know you just graduated, but we're not in school, Kabili. Ismeta is a powerful witch beyond our reckoning. Who knows what she's capable of? Willa, please, can't you help? Sorry, Kabili, you're on your own. Enough chatter. Oberon, please finish your testimony. I will do just that. This testimony has gone on long enough, and I'll finish with a simple question. Oh, you claim Ismeta was with Willa in her room. If that's true, what's the proof Ismeta was inside Willa's room? If you don't have proof, then your theory falls apart. Simple as that. Well, Kabili, what do you have to say for yourself? Any chance you changed your mind about helping Willa? Cool. Very cool stuff. Cool. Cool. Okay. All I need is one final piece of evidence. One final piece of evidence where no one wants to talk about what the hell they were doing? How am I supposed to have one final piece of evidence? You claim Ismeta was with Willa in her room. If that's true, what's the proof that Ismeta was inside Willa's room? The necklace? It's the necklace! Do you know that Willa's necklace is no ordinary accessory? It's a mood pendant that lights up responding to her changing emotions. Ah! When I first met her in the dining car, the gem inside was a dull gray, indicative of a neutral mental state. But when I met Willa during my investigation, I saw her necklace was a radiant blue, filled with brilliant energy. She said the necklace was powered up from a pleasant dream, but now I believe it came from a different source. It came from love! Which is to say, I feel bad speculating about Willa and Ismeta's private lives. Kabili! It's alright. Ismeta? Somehow, I knew it'd end up like this. What is the meaning of this? Adjudicator, may I make a statement? I was hoping to avoid this, but now I see there was never another way. You may proceed. This week, my whole world changed. Between getting the position at the solarium and my father's passing, it felt like the ground was giving out below my feet, and then in the midst of all this, I met the most charming woman. Willa's gem turns bright fuchsia. Willa was assigned to assess Foley and I while the Magisterium reviewed the merit of my father's will. From the start, I knew it was improper to get involved with anyone from the Magisterium while they were reviewing my father's estate. Even so, talking to her made me feel grounded, relaxed, happy. We weren't planning to do anything, but then we ran into each other in the dining car. We got to talking, had a few drinks, well, at least a few. We stayed in that corner booth until last call and thought, why not meet up later this evening? No expectations, keep things casual. To try and be discreet, I decided to teleport into Willa's room directly so no one would notice. We both knew the risk, but mutually decided to go through with it. So we left the bar, headed in different directions. Willa even shouted goodnight for the whole train to hear. Once I got to my room, I double-checked my math on a scrap paper and drew a Transilia rune onto the floor. After steadying my nerves, I cast the spell and successfully transported myself into Willa's room. Willa was elated to see me, and I felt pretty proud of myself for managing the Transilio jump on a moving train. So once we were together, you get the idea. Afterwards, I was too tired to teleport back like I'd initially planned. As I was getting ready to leave, Oberon knocked on Willa's door, insisting she help him investigate the robbery. She hid me from view, telling Oberon she needed a minute to freshen up. Freshen up, uh-huh. After he left, I tried sneaking back to my room, but it wasn't quite enough. Oberon caught me further down the hallway, thinking I'd done this senseless crime. Oberon must have found my note when he searched my room. I'm sorry for withholding the truth. I didn't want to expose Willa for breaking Magisterium law, especially after she'd been so kind. Ismeta? That's what happened. I apologize for not telling everyone sooner. Well, that is quite the development. I can't believe this. You think I buy her only revealing this now? She is not without cause. Consorting with potential estate beneficiaries during the Magisterium's ongoing review is strictly prohibited. But our meeting was harmless. We didn't talk about her dad's estate once. And you expect us to believe you, the person she was with? Regardless of intent, the law leaves no room for doubt in this matter. Okay, but I can at least attest she was with me. We can rule out her involvement in tonight's robbery. At least we can do that, right? Need I remind you that only I have the power to adjudicate this case? Isbetta, Willa, I had no idea it would come to this. It's okay, Kabili. You didn't know. And now, thanks to you, everyone in Magisteriums find out when this trial record goes public. Oh no, Willa! Our feelings aside, it is Magisterium policy to report the truth of all things, no matter the consequences. His eye takes an uncharacteristically somber look. Zircon, you okay? Zircon refocuses, resuming their steely gaze. We've seen a lot of emotion from this eye in the last 30 seconds. Putting this matter aside, our trial is not yet concluded, because if Ismeta isn't responsible for tonight's robbery, who is? Yeah, you, douchebag. Why is everyone looking at me? You've got to be joking. You think he did it? I propose a brief recess before we resume our trial. I hope for all our sakes that we discover the truth before we arrive in the capital. Looks like everyone split up to catch their breath, except for Oberon, who's in the middle of giving Foley quite the pep talk. Know that the roommates, the trial is over. You can't just restart with a new... Well, maybe things work differently in the Arcane world. Before the trial picks back up, maybe I should talk with someone. I can check in to see how they're doing. Maybe learn a little more about them. Something tells me I'll only have time for one conversation. I think I'll save here, so that I can always go back to different ones. Make sure it's meta. Okay. No. Pro saver. Save's coming! No, I'm kidding. Don't save scum, guys. It's bad for you. Save is the best magic spell. Save literally do be the best magic spell. Save is best magic spell. Okay. So, who do we want to talk to? I kind of want to find out, like... Okay, so Detective Me wants to be like, why are you so insistent on Ismeta? But personal me is like, I want to make sure they're okay. Do we go with our humanness? There's nothing wrong with scumming. That sounds dirty. I don't know why, that sounds real dirty. Let's be humans. Let's talk to the two of them. You approach Ismeta and Willa, who sit across from each other, swirling mugs of tea. There he is! Solid work in that trial, Kabili. You didn't even think of my name in all caps once. What are you talking about? I basically did it the whole time, Willa. Actually, I came to see how you two were holding up. Oh, Cabby, that is so sweet. If I'm being honest, I feel like I just defoliated in front of the whole room. To think we said we'd keep this casual, no drama. I should have known. Drama is my whole thing. Willa, Ismeta, I'm sorry for my part in all this. Exposing you like this was not my intention. This isn't your fault, Kabili. What she said, us meeting up tonight was our choice. I just worry about you, Willa. You're the one who has to face the consequences. The Magisterium is exacting in all things. Maybe they'll go easy on you. They're always talking about giving everyone a fair shake. Oh, you sweet summer sapling. They're gonna run me through the ringer. Even if I get to keep my job, it's gonna be non-stop seminars, workplace training, mindfulness retreats. Oh no, Willa, I can't help but worry. Did I make everything worse? Hey, don't you go all sad on me. I don't care about the Magisterium's annoying rules on interfering with inheritance audits. It's a bad rule and they're stupid for enforcing it. It's my nature to grow wild and free. They can try to stick me on a trellis, but they can't change who I am. To think I came over to encourage you. I get it. Kabili feels bad that he may or may not have outed a coworker and a defendant. That's usually not how you want to do things. I gotta say, I love seeing Willa up on her high horse. There's room for more people up here. It's a big horse. Count me in. Adjudicator, a brief recess would have ended 5 minutes ago. Apologies. I was recollecting pleasant, less eventful journeys. Time to return to the desk. Thanks for coming over to talk, Kabili. I appreciate our heart-to-heart wood. It's the least I can do. As a token of my appreciation, sprawling. Willa sprouts a flower on her shoulder and hands it to you. Willa! Shh! Zircon's about to start the proceedings. Okay. I call this court back to order. After questioning Ismeta, I would like to continue by calling Foley to the stand. I can't believe this. You make a couple of good business decisions and suddenly everyone thinks you're hiding something. Zircon is the real MVP. Big facts. Big facts. Don't worry, you won't have to testify for long until we get back to questioning Ismeta on her so-called story. Wow, he's really got it out for her. Foley, please begin your testimony. Listen up and I'll tell you why your boy's innocent. I hate him. I hate him. He really said, ya boy. I loved my father. I'd never besmirch his name by brazenly stealing what he generously left for my sister and I. Why would I pinch that bauble anyhow? Financially, professionally, and especially financially, I'm killing it. My business is all blue skies and green lines. Speaking of, I actually have some new and exciting business prospects still looking for up-and-coming investors. Hit me up after and let's make some real magic. A sound defense. As you can see, Foley had no motive to commit the crime. Ergo, he must be innocent. His business is failing. He's got all those complaints. Just like you were right about Ismeta, try and ergo that. If the defense is so confident, why don't you proceed with questioning? Thanks for that, Willa. You'll be fine. Just keep finding the contradiction and presenting the evidence that proves which statement is a lie. Okay, we know the one that's a lie is this. And that is... where is it? This one. The stack of complaints. So, you say you're doing well financially, personally, all that. Honestly, I'm thinking of writing a self-help book. Step 1, everyone buy my book. Sorry. That's interesting, because during my investigation, I stumbled across signs of a design flaw in your magic kettlebell business. Turns out after 6 months of use, the spell controlling the kettlebell's weight malfunctions, causing the weights to get heavier and heavier. Oh, what? But I just bought one! If this malfunction is as widespread as the complaints made it look, I'd say Foley's business is about to be in serious trouble. Foley, is this true? No, not gonna lie, some people have had issues with their magic weights, but these are outliers, a normal case of user errors. If you search thoroughly through his correspondence, you'd find that Foley has already shipped replacements and refunds to the aggrieved parties. I see. So it's less dire than Kabili theorized. Seriously? Oberon's throwing Foley a lifeline like that? Suspicious! Don't act surprised. Oberon's always trying to get a guilty verdict, no matter what the cost. Makes me wonder if a political system that rewards certain judicial outcomes is prone to chronic misuse. Let's move on from speculating on the solvency of Foley's weight business. For the record, we're very solvent and have tons of stock available. It cool if I drop a coupon code for readers in the official trial notes? Please continue your testimony. I hate him. I hate him. Let's run a hypothetical. How do I, a lowly 3rd constellation level magician, get inside the safe room sometime between 2 a.m.? Unlike Big Sis, I can't teleport myself anywhere I want. And as for that window in the safe room, I like to keep trim, but even I've got my limits. No way I could shimmy through that thing. And the cherry on top, even if I wanted to break in, your man Oberon was keeping watch the whole night. Unless you can explain how I might have snuck inside, there's no way I'm your guy. Game, set, match. I hate it. I hate it. Game, set, match, he says. As much as Kabili and Willow would like to paint Foley as a suspect, it's impossible for him to have committed the robbery without me noticing. Same way she Right, the moving train would put him right in the room. And he messed up the time. We know he messed up the time. We know that. Oberon makes a cogent argument. Oh yeah? Wait till you hear what Kabili's got to say. He tried it more than once. I feel like he did try it more than once. Hey, don't push me. My arm doesn't bend that way. Okay. So. Let's see. Let's see. How could I teleport? Let me see what we have. So we use this, we use this. We didn't use this yet. We haven't used this. It's the spell. I don't know if we're gonna use these again. That's our paperwork. I don't know if we'll use them more than once. We didn't use the bar tab. Didn't use this, but that would be writing. We know this. Couldn't break in. Your man was keeping watch the whole time. Wait. No, he wasn't. He got a drink at 1:17, motherfucker! Foley claims Oberon watched the door all night, that he never took a break once. Repeating Foley's words in a suspicious tone isn't helping your case. Oberon's quick to change the subject because he and I both know Oberon wasn't at the post the whole time. Ooh, was he sneaking off with someone too? If you look at the dining car's bar tab, we can see he clearly made a purchase at 1:17, the initials B.O.B. Is this a relevant detail? I think so, considering B.O.B. are the initials of an individual named Bartholomew Oberon Bazard. How would Foley know that if he wasn't watching? Why would he? Right? Ugh. Oberon, or should I say Bartholomew, is this true? I thought there would be no harm for stepping away for a moment. After all, I was stationed there for several hours, and plenty of people go by their middle name. You go by your middle name because it's pretentious. Oberon, Bartholomew, whatever you prefer to be called, dereliction of duty is a serious matter. And for all things, a honey jackfruit bliss? For the record, my infraction is of a significantly lesser magnitude than Willa's. Oh sure, at least I didn't fail to protect the valuable goods, Bart. Don't call me that! This is not the arena to discuss your respective transgressions. I've yet to hear how my absence matters. How do we know this has any bearing on the case? You didn't discover the theft until 2 a.m. What if this crime was perpetrated at 1:17 a.m. when you weren't at your post? That would be a relevant detail if it were not for the fact that Foley couldn't break into the room even if I was gone the whole night. If that is so, then I invite Foley to continue his testimony. Wait, really? You're just gonna let him continue after all that? Unless I am missing an update to my arcane lattice work, I believe I am still the sole adjudicator of this trial. You don't have to get that sassy. We will revisit how Oberon abandoned his post at a later date. I'd expect nothing less. Don't see Oberon so demoralized before. As for now, let's hear more of Foley's testimony. That's what I like to hear. Let's put this case and ourselves to bed. Okay, entry to the safe room, part 2. So, Oberon stepped away for a few minutes. Big whoop, that doesn't change a thing. I was asleep in my room when this crime happened. Even if I wanted to embarrass myself trying to get into the locked safe room, how could I do it? An upending master of commerce like myself doesn't have the right tools to break into anything. Unless you've forgotten, I'm too low level of constellation for a proper Transilio jump. I don't even have the arcane juice to jump the piddling 1 meter necessary to phase through that door. You're pushing a narrative about me that's wrong, insulting, and I'm not ashamed to say hurtful. Now let's be done with this. We can catch the real perpetrator. The real perpetrator? The real perpetrator? There's no evidence tying him to the room, and it gains... Okay. Okay. These are valid points. Unless Kabili and Willa find something that ties Foley to the crime scene, I see no reason to continue interviewing him. We just established you have clear and free time to break in. No spying. There must be something connecting Foley. Alright. Cross-examination. Cross-examination. So, let's see. Oberon stepped away. Don't have the right tools. So we know he could have used this. Had this. I don't know if this is the tool to break in, though. Level... I think it is these. When searching Foley's room, I found his latest knitting project. Level 3 could do a small jump. They keep trying to, like, not talk about that, which I get it, because he's trying to keep himself safe. But the knitting needles. The scarf was the best, but more crucial, let's take a look at the knitting needles. You take that back about my scarf. The metal on this needle is bent and pockmarked like it's been improperly used. Kabili, where are you going with this? I bet if we test the knitting needle in the safe room door, I'm sure the damage would be consistent with the needle being used to pick the lock. Foley, do you care to explain this? Your Honor, Kabili is twisting Foley's knitting inexperience to try and place him at the scene of the crime. Foley, how long has the needle been broken like that? Since, days ago. Weeks, actually. Come on, Oberon, you expect us to believe this guy's been knitting with a broken needle this whole time? Look at the scarf. No way anyone is this bad without good cause. Unfortunately, I am not equipped with knowledge of amateur knitting. How about I continue my testimony? I'll spin a yarn that'll make it clear I didn't do it. You hear that wordplay? He's definitely getting worked up. Keep on him. Okay, safe breaking. So maybe my knitting needles are scuffed. That doesn't prove I used them to get into that safe room, okay? Also, that safe is a McGomley Mosler from the era of the Baron Lords. A Mosler's access codes change every hour, and their tumblers are made of glass rock to prevent arcane tampering. That's a lot of information. Why would he need to know all this? There's no way I could have gotten access codes off Oberon. He's a nice guy, but he's not that nice. The nail in the coffin, the safe's made of nigh indestructible caboconite. A paltry third-level magician like myself doesn't know a spell powerful enough to rip it open like that. You ever think the works of great magicians are beyond the likes of regular folks like us? I'm starting to think this thing can't be solved. Seriously? Another one of these he couldn't have done it because he was physically impossible situations? His logic still stands. I simply am not seeing how he could have perpetrated this crime. He's so clearly hiding something. And whose job is it to prove that audacious claim? Really walked into that one, huh? Yeah, that one's on me. Okay, so let's look back at what we have. We've used this. Oh, this is it. Everything turns incorporeal. Okay. There's tumblers. This one. I think it has to do with it being incorporeal. Or is it this? The safe is broken. So maybe this one. Something interesting. A perfect circular arc has been cut out of the safe. Always with an overwrought intro. The only thing that could have made such an incision was the Transilio rune. I don't follow. How could a translocation spell open the safe? What if a corner of the Transilio room was placed below the safe? The Transilio room teleports not only living creatures, but any and all material standing within this rune's jump. Where are you going with this? If you place the rune directly below the safe, you'd be able to teleport the walls of the safe away, effectively splitting the safe in two. Whoa, really? You could do that? Even though Foley is a third-level magician who's only capable of teleporting something a couple of millimeters, that's all he'd need to break the safe door wide open. Ah! What about the pyracantha plant? Lettuce. If we review the dining card's accounts, I bet we find a receipt for a BLT with Foley's name on it. Time to face facts. Foley has knowledge of the spell, access to the room, and motive to steal the gem. You... Adjudicator Zircon, this is all conjecture. Be that as it may, it's starting to sound increasingly plausible. You know, I just remembered something that may end this whole charade. Seriously? You're doing this again? Again. Zircon, get him out of here! When I stepped away for a drink, I was indeed briefly derelict on my duty of watching the door. But after receiving my drink, a process which took only 2 minutes, I sat in a chair giving me an unobstructed view of the safe room door. Though it's possible Foley could have broken into the room while I had my back turned, it's inconceivable he would have enough time to do all this subterfuge and then sneak out without my notice. Yeah, but what if he was really sneaky? I will not tolerate baseless supposition in this court. It was worth a shot. In light of Oberon's update, how about I put the finishing touches on my testimony? In plain terms, I can spell out how I couldn't have done this crime. Easy street. Let's put an end to this waste of our time once and for all. I look forward to hearing what you have to say. That makes one of us, am I right, Kabili? Why is Zircon still glaring at me? Escaping the safe room. So let's go along with your deluded theory that I somehow did with. I steal the gem, but how do I escape without being seen? As I keep reminding everyone, I don't have superpowered magic. Unlike Ismeta the Incredible, I can't just swoop, teleport back to my room. There's no roof access, no possibility of escaping through the window. I'm stuck in that room. Hypothetically speaking, of course. The only logical explanation is that I didn't escape the room because I'm not the one who stole it. You're asking the wrong questions. I'm not your guy. Someone else must have done this. Someone in this very room. Seriously? That's not testimony, that's more circular logic. If Foley had no plausible egress from the room, Kabili's theory of him committing the crime cannot stand. No! Elpis! Elpis, why? Why? Kabili, I can sense Foley's close to cracking. Just one more contradiction, you'll break him like a breadstick. Crack! Kabili, begin the cross-examination. Okay, cross-examination. How did he escape without being seen? I think this is it. Or this. Well, he would have had the gem, so he could have cast it at a higher level. Could have cast it at a higher level. So that's the good thing. We know he could have cast it. He's guilty and this proves it. No, I guess not. Okay. Looks like a mix between... I haven't seen it. I feel like I'll have to look at this to see, like, what he looks like. So then, okay, if it's not that, then it's with the gem. Wait, so where could I fit the gem? This. No? It has to be one of these. Unless it's the gem on this one. Yep. Okay. Okay, it's the gem on this one. I'm like, it's... He draws the thing, he uses the gem, he gets out faster. I wasn't using the right, statement. So you steal the gem and are confronted with a problem. You need to escape, but you can't go out the front door in case you're seen. Ordinarily, you can only teleport yourself a few millimeters, but these weren't ordinary circumstances, were they? Just get to the point already. When Foley opened the safe, he had in his possession the power gem. Foley never needed to worry about an escape route. The object of the heist's power is the perfect getaway. Using the stone, he could power the Transilio spell up to 5th level and successfully teleport back to his own room. Ugh! But what about the missing Transilio room? If your theory's true, there should be 2 Transilio rooms inside the safe room. Wasn't there a smidge of something below the safe? I bet that smidge was from Foley trying to wipe away evidence of the first room. He couldn't hide the second one because he used it to teleport himself away. So Foley had motive, means of entry, and a way to escape. All I hear is conjecture, baseless accusations being lobbed at Foley, a pillar of the community. If he went through all this work to steal the gem, then where is it? Willow rushes over, giving Foley a pat down. It's not on his person. Willow gives Oberon a quick glance over. It's not on Oberon either. You dare suspect me? If it's not on Foley, maybe it's in his room? I can't believe this. If that's what it takes, fine. I'll take everyone to look for yourselves. I have nothing to hide because I am innocent, you hear? Innocent! Foley exits, marching towards his room. Is anyone gonna stop him? Come, let us see what there is to see. Foley leads everyone down the hall, throwing open the door. See for yourself, no gem. See the room unchanged since you last saw it. Oberon does some token, half-hearted looking. We're wasting our time. I've already searched and it's not here. I'm afraid if we can't locate the gem, we'll have to drop all accusations against Foley. Seriously, Zircon's the most dramatic. If it all comes down to this, Kabili, where do you think the gem is hiding? Before presenting my guess, let me see what I remember. So remember that this magic power clock, I made a joke of it running too fast when I wanted to go home. Soul-crushing anxiety. How could I forget the needlessly fancy rug? It's stained from countless in-room meal services. There was the papers. Was anything spicy? Maybe I didn't look hard enough? The entire wardrobe closed. Maybe he hid the stone somewhere inside? Maybe he threw the power gem out the window? He could have made some kind of plan to recover it after the train stopped. That's an idea. Maybe their gem is in the center of the yarn. Too weak to pull it apart with my hands. The gem is located... Oh. I mean, the yarn doesn't even match the scarf. So it would kind of make sense. I'll check what he looks like in a second, too. Could the gem be messing up the clock? It could be. It could be. Because that would make sense that the clock isn't working. When I first saw the clock was running fast, I didn't think anything of it. it's power timed. Or, sorry, it's magically powered. So because it's running too fast, the time is messed up. But I remember the power gem lends its charge to nearby spells and magical objects, supercharging them. It's not happenstance that the spell-powered clock is running fast. It's doing that because the power gem is inside the clock. You reach inside the clock, pulling out a brilliant azure stone. My retinal scans indicate that this is indeed the power gem. Imagine how embarrassing it would have been if I got it wrong. I can't believe it. It was right under our noses the whole time. Damn right it was. Foley, it was you? You stole it? All I wanted was the stupid gem. We're gonna change his voice up now that he's angry and he's caught, okay? So we're not gonna give, like, the dumb kind of annoying voice. My sister's got the brains, the accolades, and all I got are multiple filings for bankruptcy. So the issues with the magic weights were worse than I thought. When Pops passed, I thought I was about to get a lifeline. Finally, he's gonna support some of my businesses in death when he never did in life. But then the Magisterium sticks its nose where it doesn't belong by reviewing his will, holding everything up. Instead of doing me a solid, the only thing the Magisterium releases is this power gem. And my Pops, he had the gall to stipulate I had to share it with this meta. Foley, I had no idea you were in trouble. You think I want your sympathy? I don't need you or your pity. The only thing I need is... And before anything can move, he grabs the power gem out of your hands. Everyone, stay back. Flips over the rug. Yep, there's another rune on the flip side. I knew it. Look out, that rune's ready to pop. Don't magic me, don't magic me. Foley, let's be reasonable. I tried that. This is all I got left. Do not do this, citizen. Whatever, you floating eyeball armada, I don't have to do what you say, what anyone says. Foley, please, we can still fix this. What's to fix? Everyone got exactly what they wanted. The Magisterium solved their case. You get to stay the perfect daughter. And I get my prize. See you never, chumps. Kazap! Foley teleports away in a burst of light. For a moment, no one says anything. Then everyone speaks at once. Branch and finger check, everyone in one place. He got away. Quick, someone go after him. By the time I'd get my wand, he'd be long gone. The culprit escapes, a most regrettable conclusion. I can't believe it. The papers are gonna have a field day with us. Of course, that's what he's thinking about. Ismeta, when we arrive in the capital, we'll need an official statement about what's transpired here. For all the good that's gonna do. Foley, if only I'd known. Ismeta, you may return to your room until our arrival. I will come by to collect you before we disembark. Poor Ismeta, I can only imagine what she's going through. In light of the circumstances, I suspect the Magisterium will conduct a thorough review of tonight's trial record. Whew, sounds like your girl's definitely in for some trouble when we get into town. More importantly, I wonder what they'll do to me. Nobody gives a fuck what they're gonna do to you, Oberon. Maybe there's a way to find a silver lining, you two. Perhaps Kabili's right. I just need to find some way to spin this in my favor. Let me guess, you're gonna blame your dereliction on working conditions and that you didn't have enough breaks. Willa, don't give him any ideas. Oberon narrowed his eyes, already hatching a plan. Despite its unexpected outcome, I announce today's trial officially concluded. Everyone should rest while you're able. I expect you all at the Magisterium office by 8 chimes sharp. I wonder which pea coat I should wear for when we arrive. And just like that, I'm off to see Ismeta. I need my room. I hope you pick an ugly one, Bart. Looks like everyone's splitting up for the night. Or is it morning? If I hurry, maybe I can talk with someone one-on-one before I turn in. Considering how late the trial went, I only have time for one person. I think I'll talk to Zircon. Zircon's the real MVP. Head over to Zircon, who runs diagnostics in a quiet corner. Zircon, hey, are you updating or you got a minute to talk? I can tell my systems to remind me about updating tomorrow, a popular delaying tactic. I want to thank you with my patience today. I didn't think this would be quite so intense. If I am being truthful, I am still processing the results of today's trial. Yeah, this all got serious. You are troubled. There's no changing what happened. I just wish it didn't have to happen like this. Maybe there was something someone could have said or done, or... Save for the escape of Foley, I believe everyone performed their roles to the best of their abilities. What more can the Magisterium ask of me or any of its subjects beyond the execution of their office to the best of their ability? I suppose so. I admit that I too wish the execution of our jobs was less fraught, less tragic, but we cannot choose the nature of our reality. The world's always changing. Who knows what's in store for us? Maybe the moral arc of the universe trends upwards? Only time can tell. In any case, I appreciate our conversation. I hope the Magisterium does not find fault with your conduct in this or any future cases, Kabili. I intuit you will be a strong addition to our investigative team, especially for your taste in accessories. My enthusiasm remains for my headpiece. Still looking good, Zircon. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should run diagnostics before we arrive. See you later, Zircon. Zircon hovers down the hall. See the swells of the River Midis. The capital must be close. Retire to your room and conclude the case. Here I am, back again. Feels somehow wrong that after everything that's happened, this room's exactly as how I left it. Back into pajamas, laying down in bed. I bet my folks will be so proud to hear I solved my first case. I can practically hear them congratulating me now. I wish I felt that way too, but I don't know. Is this how it's gonna feel every time? Overwhelming? Exhausting? Complicated? That's being an adult, bro. Being an adult, any job, that's how it's gonna be. At least I didn't embarrass myself too bad. Choo choo! Oh, this is your conductor welcoming you to the capital. We hope you had a pleasant, relaxing trip. Please remember to take all your personal belongings with you as you disembark. We hope you'll travel with us again, wherever your next journey takes you. Zircon hovers in the doorway of your room, poking their head inside. Kabili, it is time to disembark. Kabili? That's my snoring noise. Hello, Yada! You missed the game. You missed the game. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so besides the music, it's a pretty small... Thank you, Raven. Thank you. We solved the case. We may not have seen justice fully done, but we solved the case. So there's that. We did it. We are a good investigator. What y'all think? My week is doomed. Wait, why is your week doomed? I got so confused because... Oh, really? They're using the Persona music? I see. I see. It was nice and fun. It's a perfect length. You know what it feels like? It feels like a introduction. Like it feels like an introduction to like a longer game. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it almost feels like I had a thought and then I just lost it. It feels like a prologue. Yes, like a chapter 1 to a bigger story. Like it feels like you could have a whole series of like this Arcane Investigations, and this would have been like the prologue, like the introductory story, the introductory trial, and then you could do like when you get to the capital and you start working, right? And then the trials and stuff could slowly like increase in difficulty. You know what I mean? I feel like that could be like a really cool way of like doing this. And that's of course assuming that they want to continue with the game, or I shouldn't say that, assuming that they want to do more games or more chapters or continue with these characters, right? Like, I do feel like this is like a prologue, and then in time you get more. Again, super small team working on this, right? If you look at the pinned post, you can see the game on Steam. You can also see who worked on it and who hooked us up with the code. But this is their first game, right? So this was their first game, their first, like, really going through and doing this. So it's like, there could be a future. There could be a future where maybe they do continue with these characters. I hope they do, because I like the characters, the art style. Yeah, so the art style, hold on, because I have it open. So the art was done by someone named Oakley. Let me pull it up. Because they too have a site. They have their Instagram. So that Instagram is the character artist who created the characters. So, or, you know, who drew them out. So you can go ahead and follow them. You can see, like, their art style. I'm not going to say very slow, but they definitely kept, like, a very specific style for this, like, which is just slightly tweaked from what it seems like is sort of their normal style. But I do really like it. And you can also see some of, like, the work that went into creating these characters on their Instagram, which is really cool. I think it's always cool when you can see some of, like, the work that goes into it and the, like, behind the scenes. Oh, I need to stop that. Sorry. I think it's cool when you can see some of the behind the scenes for it, right? And see, like, here's what they're doing, and here's what they are making, and here's how we ended up with this final version of the character. I think that's really cool. And then they also credited the background artist, who I will also put that in here. So Claire Weber, I'm gonna guess that's how it's pronounced, is the one who did the backgrounds for the games. So that's really cool to see. And again, you can see some of the work that they did for this game on there. So you can see, like, the black and white before the colored. So you can see how that transpired, which I think is really, really cool. And then the combination of what was done. And then additional coding and the UI was done by here. Oh, hello. Hello. Cam, how you doing? Welcome on in, Raiders. Welcome on in. I should move my alert box up. I should move this up a little bit. We'll put it there. Thank you for giving Cam the shout out. How was your stream? We're good. We just completed a short game. We knew it was short-ish. We just completed a short game that was gifted to us, called Arcane Investigations, which I think Yada would enjoy, because it is very Phoenix Wright inspired. And I know how Yada feels about Phoenix Wright. And eventually I'll get to actually play Phoenix Wright. I'll get there eventually. But the game is it's a point and click, super straightforward. I do hope that they end up doing more. I hope they do more. I hope we get to see more time with these characters. I hope we get to see Kabili grow as a character, right? Like, just a little bit of a little bit of growth along the way, you know, because this is the first investigation, the first trial. So, you know, it makes sense that it's very, I guess, straightforward, right? Okay, I'm going to say straightforward, although it could also be that I have done a lot of, like, mystery games, so I'm like, looking for very specific things, right? And even with all that, even with, like, I really like mystery games, and I like solving things, stuff like that, like, I think this was still very good. It's, dare I say, a bit of a cozy mystery. It's a little bit of a cozy mystery. You know, it's not bloody. Nobody's dead. There's a little family tension, but that's okay. That's okay. Right? So I think this is like a really good introduction. I hope that Ian, who is the one who gifted us this game and created this game, I do hope we see more. I do hope we see more. And who knows? Like, if the game does well, maybe we will. So the 2 complaints, no one died. Okay, not every mystery has to be that no one died. I mean, I know that's, like, you know, kind of my brand. But, you know, can't exactly say the same about the other investigation games you played, Facts. Did Candy just call a game cozy? I think this feels like... Okay, so you know when you read mystery books, and there are... Also, wait, hold on, let me backtrack. Cam, if you need to raid and run, because I know it's like almost 1 a.m. for you, if you need to get some food, if you need to go play with the cats, if you need to go hang out with Jess, please feel free to do that. I appreciate the raid, and I realize I did not address all those things, but please make sure that you are taking care of yourself, and that also goes for anyone who came in with your raid. Although I guess they would need cats of their own, or their own Jess to go hang out with Jess. So I will do in a sec, just wind down. No, that's fair. That's fair. I realized that I didn't say that at first because I was, like, still in my thoughts about the game. I was, like, still in my thoughts about the game, so I realized that I skipped that part, but please make sure that you take care of yourself. Willie and Walter attacking Jess at the moment. Nice. It was a cute game. It was a cute game. Listen. Guys. Friends. Guys, gals, non-binary pals. Okay, listen. I'm saying this is like a cozy mystery, right? In the fact that nobody died, right? It isn't a bloody murder, right? So it's like how, you know, when you go to the bookstores and there's like mysteries and thrillers, and then there's like cozy mysteries, and it's the mysteries that you like curl up and read and you can still go to sleep afterwards because it doesn't feel that crazy. That's what this feels like. That's what this feels like. Which is a good thing. You know? Hydrate. I will hydrate right now. It's just one short game, but I did really enjoy it, and I hope that we do get more of it. That's the thing. It's lighthearted. It's not heavy. You know? I mean, I can see where people are, like, upset that the 2 characters got outed, right? Like, I could see where that would upset people. I think the fact that nobody died should not be a contentious point with this game, right? Like, that's not the point of what you're solving. You're just solving a mystery. Just because you are solving a mystery does not mean the mystery needs to be, like, a violent mystery, right? I just want that to be said. Just because you solve a mystery does not mean it needs to be violent. Just a reminder. I lost my train of thought again. But yes, it's lighthearted. It's not heavy. You're not gonna have nightmares about what happened, you know? So there's that. That's really, like, the... You know, that's really the thing. So, yeah, but I definitely enjoyed that. I think it was very good. And again, I do hope to see more. You know, so go check out the game if you want to play it yourself and see how the other sort of, they're not roots, how the other interactions with the characters, because don't forget, you were only able to interact with one character during the trial. So if you want to see how those would go, you'll have to pick up the game. It's $5 on Steam, so it's really not too bad. So I would say definitely check it out, play it for yourself, buy it for a friend if you know that they like mysteries, right? If they like Phoenix Wright type games, pick it up. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. Oh yeah. So who of y'all gonna pick it up? Who of y'all gonna pick it up? And again, wishlist it, check him out, check out his work, let him know that his work was really cool and that you enjoyed it, because sometimes that can also go a long way into like inspiring people to want to like try it out, Sometimes all it takes is people to say, I saw this and it was really cool, it was really fun, for others to want to give it a shot. So, I'm just saying, consider it, just consider it if you can. What are we at on time? 2.5 hours. I missed the whole playthrough, but Hey! We were just talking about you. I was just saying that I really hope. Oh, I heard. Okay. I hope we get to see more. I enjoy the characters. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I put some of their links. You can hold on. Let me pull their links back up. If you want to say something about them. Oh, perfect. Okay. Let me grab their links again, because I did pull them from your Blue Sky post. Because, we gotta give them love too. So, in case y'all missed the links before, there's one. There's two. Putting the links in here. There we go. Because I know links can get funky links can get really funky on Twitch. So I always like get nervous when people are like jumping into. But I'm also gonna put this all on. Like YouTube. I didn't make any clips because I'm really bad about clipping things in the interim, but I will clip some stuff and put it on TikTok when I get to it. I'll also I already shared this. I will also be writing a review on it. It will be a good review. I really hope that there will be more of these characters. I know that making a game is not easy. I know that making a game takes a lot of time and effort and energy. But I do hope that we get to see these characters again, because it really did feel like it felt like a prologue to this bigger world and universe that these characters will be in. So like I hope that there ends up being like something like that. I would love to make more of it. I hope that you do. I hope that it pans out that way, because it definitely felt like this was an introduction, and that these characters like have more to learn and to tell. I want more. Well, we see who Elpis fell for. Hot bird. we see it. I am also like, Zircon having personality, I think, is really interesting, and would be curious to see also where that goes. Especially like 2025, as we're talking about like AI in the real world, it would be nice to see like a friendly AI. I feel like every time we see like an AI that gets a personality, they're sometimes kind of awful, and they're like Skynet. So it would be really cool to see Zircon continue. See, the dev agrees. I see, Elpis. I see. And Elpis, look, didn't die. You picked a person and they didn't die. How do you feel, Elpis? The curse might be broken. And hey, and I got a chance to practice a little robot voice that I didn't know was gonna come out of my mouth the way that it came out, but I think it worked all right. I think Honestly, out of all the voices we tried to do today, I think the robot was probably the most consistent. That might have been the most consistent one that we got. I don't know what that says about me. And she tells us she's not a VA. Listen, I am not a voice actress. That would be a lot of work, but I'm sure it'd be a lot of fun. It's just that for whatever reason, we were able to read things like, he looks like a mix of Miles, Edgeworth, and Hunter. I can't help it. Okay, that's all I got. All I'm doing is trying to channel my inner GLaDOS, okay? That's it. That's all we're doing. It's just that I have no voice mods or anything on, so it's just... I don't even know how to describe it. Going to the back of my throat for a voice? I don't know. I have no idea. It just came out that way, okay? Every prosecutor needs a good Edgeworth-style robot. Well, now we know that Elpis is gonna be out there looking for more of Oberon. B.O.B. Bartholomew. Bart. I love it. Love it. I don't remember if you're on Blue Sky, Elpis. But if you are, you should, you know, make sure to follow and share. So that way we can get some more Arcane Investigations. Just saying. Just saying. 'Cause I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Sorry, I was looking at some of the artwork because I still have the links open. See, this is why we shouldn't have so many things open. Suddenly my brain just like No, thank you again so much for the game. And thank you for the work that you put into it, right? Because there's lots of games that come and go. And you know, I don't always get to play like a fun mystery. Or I feel like I'm always playing mysteries that then people are like, this is a little bloody, this is a little gory. You know, it's nice to play when that was a little bit more relaxed. The stakes were high, but they weren't crazy high. And it was nice that it fit into like one thing, so it was easy to remember everything. And I loved being able to put the pieces together, you know. Look, okay, see, the dev said cozy too. It's not just me. The dev said cozy. I'm just saying. Okay, I was saying cozy, and because I know, I think I said this in our Blue Sky chat, right? When I play a lot of these mysteries, they're like, somebody died, somebody this, right? And it is nice to have a game that's not always the case. I'm not always solving a murder. Sometimes I'm just solving a crime. Sometimes that's it. It's on a train, which is the coziest form of transportation, except for Cat Bus. That's true. Maybe Appa from Appatar. I think the Cat Bus still might be a little cozier. I think the Cat Bus might still be a little cozier. A little more, maybe a little more spacious. A cozy game that Candy enjoys. There can be no higher form. Listen, we know that cozy's not always the brand here, but this was a good one because it was a mystery. It was a mystery, so it had a good balance, everybody. It had a good balance. Crime solving. Listen. We did solve a crime. We may or may not have been able to apprehend said culprit, but we did solve the crime. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much. And how you doing? How you doing, Happy Slug? Wait, what should be the brand here? Wait, didn't someone? No. Dad was dead before the game started. Dad was dead before the game started. Buster. Buster's like, how do I fit the death into it so it fits the brand? Dad was having an eternal nap. Dad was having an eternal nap. Buster's trying to figure out how we can fit it. We don't have to. We don't have to. This time, no deaths. No deaths this stream. We did it. A long nap. Yeah, you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's a long nap. It's fine. The kids are... They're... One of them's gonna be alright. You know what? I will not speak for both of them, but one of them's gonna be alright. We keep things family friendly here. Do we, Yada? Do we? Or do we toe the line a little bit? I think we toe the line a little bit. You know, we kind of toe the line. You know? We keep things Twitch friendly. We keep things Twitch friendly. Like Twitch. We keep things within terms of service.
That is a shame.
Right? I think that's the way we think about it. I think, right? Correct. I mean, y'all are here pretty often. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I am wrong. The Raven, if Raven always has the best timing and a fridge for King to steal. That's normally what he's got. That's normally what he's got. As a mod, I should know what these streams are about. They're about something. They're about something. I'm gonna put this in here again too, because I know that the pinned posts don't always work for everybody. That's when we get back to Shinigami. That's when we get back to Shinigami with the boobas. So, again, there is your Steam link. Make sure that you check it out. The game is currently $5 on Steam. Yada, I'm calling you out because I know that you have a perfectly normal response to Phoenix Wright games. If you also, like Yada, have a perfectly normal response to Phoenix Wright games, and you like something a little cozy, and you like to get your brain working a little bit to solve a mystery, and you want to maybe not necessarily yell objection, but enjoy telling a somewhat handsome winged character with maybe a little bit of sass that they're wrong, you too can get this game on Steam. You too can get it on Steam. Check it out. And again, big shout out to Ian for gifting the game, for coming by the stream and hanging out. Super, super appreciated. But yelling is the point. Well, you can yell. You just won't be yelling objection. You'll be yelling something else. Trust me, you can yell it. I'm pretty sure once or twice, even though, again, this was a cozier game. Pretty sure once or twice I said the fuck in talking to in trying to go against Oberon. I was like, the fuck, man? So, you know, you can still yell. You just won't yell objection. It's fine. It's fine. Thanks for streaming and checking out. Thank you for coming by. Thanks for coming by and hanging out and, you know, agreeing with Elpis. This is my first Steam game, so it's really exciting. It is very, 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 like, well done and tells a really great story. My bad I wasn't here to... You do not need to apologize. Time zones be a thing. They're, you know, I have plenty of times where I want to check out things and don't make it because of time zones. You know, this made-up concept that we have of time zones, you know, if you only had a magical stone where you could have, like, seen the time on a clock be different, and then suddenly be like, oh, hey, like, it's this time, I should go check it out. You know, who knows? Maybe if the clock said the wrong time because of a magic stone, you know, it's just, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Why are we putting them in zones? Time is an illusion. How can time be real if our eyes aren't real? How can time be real if our eyes aren't real? Spoilers. As Ripper Song would say, spoilers. I mean, our eyes are real. What do you... Elpis, Elpis, I work today. It is 8 o'clock at night. I haven't had dinner. How you gonna start talking about if your eyes aren't real? Your eyes are real. You saw that Birdman and you were like, wood. Our eyes are real because you saw it. You saw it, you decided it. Sometimes it just decides we're an hour behind now. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it today. Too tired. Listen what? Listen what? Tell me everything. Tell me, I'm listening. I'm here. As they say in the mother tongue, dímelo. What's up? What's up? Tell me everything. I'm here. I don't even know if I assume Elpis might even still be at work and trying to type on mobile. And we know typing on mobile can be a little rough. We know that can be a little rough. Elpis is currently typing up like a whole novel. Sorry. I am trying to type. I know, the typing on mobile is Again, not always the best. Not always the best. It's fine though. It's fine. Let's see. Who's on? We love you, Elpis. We love you. We tease because we love enjoying the mobile. Is anybody ever? Is anybody ever? Let me check. Okay, nobody on this. Okay. That wasn't that long ago. The average person has more eyes than the people in... What? What? Y'all trying to make my brain hurt? We just solved a whole mystery and now you're trying to make my brain hurt. Why is everybody trying to make my brain hurt now? That's just too much. That's just too much. Especially you've been half a decade using it. Half a decade is too... I don't want to use my brain anymore. I'm done. I'm done using my brain. When do we get to be done? I feel like I rated you not that long ago. Let's check. Maybe that's a lie. I think it is a lie. Okay. I think I know where we're gonna go. It's gonna be a shift. It is gonna be a shift. Because I don't have anyone playing something similar. There's Laura. And there's Quinn. Okay. Let's use a bottle of gelato. Wait. A bottle opener on gelato sounds real good right now. I'm also very warm, which is not great. So I'm gonna get something nice and cold to eat and relax and relax. Okay. Bottle opener on gelato. Okay, the average person has 2 eyes. Since there's people with 1 or no eyes, the average is probably their... Oh my god, my brain. My brain. Ghost. It is 8 o'clock at night, my dude. My head reading that just... I think you just short-circuited my brain. That's what I think just happened. You just short-circuited my brain. Just done. People have complained for years. It's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. Go to sleep. Unless you don't want to go to sleep. Then don't go to sleep. That's fine too. That's fine too. You don't need to go to sleep. You do what makes you happy. You do what makes you happy. The holiday tomorrow. Oh, the... Buster was saying the same thing. Right? Buster, didn't you say it was also a holiday? Meeps? Big facts right now. Oh, yours is on Monday. Okay. Meeps, big facts right now. The pain. I'm with you. Opening Talente is like cracking open a safe, and what's inside is just as bad. Oh, you just took Friday as a holiday. Okay. I think that's why I got a little confused. Everybody got holidays, and I'm over here like, I gotta work. Everyone got holidays, and I'm over here like, I gotta work. Lame. Big lame. I tore my hand. Oh, no. Get somebody else to open it for you. Ours is only Italy. Is it Monday, Cinco de Mayo? Is it? I think you're right. I mean, we don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo, but... Runner Meeps will throw the bottle opener at you. Uh-oh. Listen, no violence. No violence here. Wait, a microwave? Wait. What are you doing with the microwave and the gelato? What is happening? Please explain. Please explain. I am concerned, but I don't know if I need to be concerned. Put it in there for 10 seconds. Ah. I never thought. I'll use the powers of D20. You got a 13. That's not bad. Meeps, I need you to type in ! D20. And let's see what comes up. And then we'll know who wins, you or Yada. Well, Buster didn't throw it. Because the lid is vacuum sealed. Yada, I think it hit. I think it hit. I'm sorry. And Meeps came in with the 18. Meeps came in with the 18. Sorry. It do be like that sometimes. It do be like that. Why did I roll it? Because Yada thought he could dodge you potentially throwing this can. Or the... And you... So you rolled opposing numbers. And you hit. There is not a doubt in my mind that you hit. Maybe at some point we'll get everybody nice little armor classes. And then we'll, you know, if it meets it, beats it. Those rules. I am not instigating violence. What do you mean? I would never. I would never instigate violence. That is not a thing that we would do here. All right. Let's raid over to where there is some violence, though. How about that? How about we raid over to where there is some violence? Adjudicating violence? I wouldn't say we're adjudicating violence. We're gonna go see some people who are playing Marvel Rivals because Quinn is back. Quinn was away for some time. A pacifist. No violence here. What do you mean? I am not involved in the violence. Buster being a pacifist? Yeah, wait, hold on. I was just trying to find a peaceful ending to it, okay? Buster may have started. I was just finding a peaceful ending. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? What do you mean? I would never. I would never. But yes, let's go say hi to Quinn, because Quinn is back. Quinn is playing Marvel Rivals. Quinn was gone for her birthday. She's playing with Lore, who frequents here. And I want to say hi to her since she's back. So I'll be back Friday. And we will continue with the mystery things. We will just continue with some rain code, which will not quite be so cozy. Probably. But there will be another love interest for Elpis. I haven't touched rain code in like a week, so we'll see what we remember. Because that's gonna be fun. But again, make sure you check out from one end of the mystery spectrum to the other. That's what we do. That's how we roll here. We're gonna go from cozy mystery all the way to not so cozy mystery. That's, you know, that's just the vibe. That's just the vibe. We'll get to see Vivia, see if Vivia lives. Right? Oberon lived today. So Elpis did not have to see a loved one die. But who knows what will happen when we see Vivia. Will Vivia make it? I did do a quick check with rain code, and we have 2 more chapters left, so the chapter that we're currently in, and then one more. So while I was hoping to finish it before PAX East, we will not be finishing it before PAX East, so we'll have to finish it after PAX East. The game is just long, so we just are not going to quite make it as far as we had hoped. But we'll be doing that Friday. And then Saturday, special stream, where we'll be doing the Hear Me Outs with all of your hot takes. If you want to submit a hot take, you still can. You still can. I think we said we were going to close it tomorrow. So King and I will do some finishing touches on our presentation so that we have it ready to go. And then King and I will both be co-streaming that on Saturday. And then Sunday, most likely, we'll just do some more rain code. So yeah, you're a better person than I. My reply would be, you can pry it out of my dead hands. Damn! Well, now we know where Buster is with all this. Now we know where Buster is. So yeah, let's... Wait, what? Hold on. What do you mean? Why are you telling me that's an invalid name? There we go. I was like, how are you gonna tell me that that's an invalid name? Like, what the hell? I just like friends to be happy. That is very kind of you, Meeps. You are very kind. You are very, very kind. Buster really shares dessert like that. Too good. It's too good. It's too good. Alright, so yes, go follow on the YouTubes. There will be some stuff coming up on YouTube soon. My Raincode VODs are going to be on there. I will also be posting something about a productivity app that I have been using. So you can check that out on YouTube in the next coming days. It's already on TikTok and Instagram. But yes, let's go show them some love. I will see you all on Friday. And if I don't see you on Friday, please make sure to take care of yourselves and enjoy the next couple days. For some of us, it's getting warm. It's getting hot. Please, please enjoy. And Yeti's got eggs. Yeti's got eggs. I might have to get some eggs from Yeti. Might be showing up getting some eggs. Have a good night, everybody.